hand too tight.
Sam, I'm not holding your hand.
Welcome back to Region Free, Season 5.
Ugh.
So is it the odd or even numbered seasons that are good? Which is it, guys?
Which one did I come in on? I forgot. Was it 2?
Well, no, you came in on like OG Region Free. I think Season 2, right?
Okay, then it's the even numbered ones that are good. So this one's going to be a bank. Or
I'm not sure how that works.
I don't know either. It's been a long week already. It's only Monday. And it's a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what did you guys well, before we get to that, I guess I should mention that we're missing a member of our steady crew here. We're going to be joined by some other folks in a moment. And then we have a special guest who is a couple of squares away from me, and we'll get to that too. But first off, Dan is still with us. He's just not here for the premiere because he has to be in a earthquake-laden land called California, where apparently the internet doesn't exist, or we're just not the priority. So thanks, Dan. Send some love out to Dan and hope he's enjoying his Halloween season.
Had to replace him with a new hat guy.
We did. So we're not hat-free. In fact, we got 2 hats going right now. So, well, 3.
3, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that I own a hat.
I've got a headband. That should count.
That's like a third of a hat.
It's a hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Ha.
Go ahead, Stone.
What's up?
What's up, Stone? What did you do over your summer vacation?
Looked for work. That's about it.
You made me see Weapons.
Oh, yeah. We went to go see Weapons. Yes. Yeah. And Chris and I went to go see Karate Kid Legends. It was okay. I know there was a couple others that I'm sure we saw. I know we talked about Final Destination Bloodlines, which is like the number 1 horror film of the year in terms of box office now, pretty much. And yeah, that's about it. My life sucks.
No, it does not suck.
I mean, Weapons didn't improve it, but
Oh,
I'm sorry. Like, I did not. That was like Long Legs Part 2 all over again.
I empathize with Sam for thinking about Long Legs because there is a certain point where I thought about Long Legs, but the ending for Weapons was so much fucking better. It was so much more satisfying. It really was. Because Long Legs just got too stupid when Nicolas Cage came on screen with his Bisquick makeup and
Yeah, and then we get Aunt Gladys off of this, and it's just like, okay, so you took Long Legs and then the gal from Bring Her Back, and you just smushed them together, and you got an Aunt Gladys.
Oh yeah. Am I the only one looking forward to Black Phone 2 this weekend?
Yep, you are the only one.
No, he's not the only one.
I am.
I like Black Phone.
I am.
Yeah, I like.
I think the first one overrated. When it come to the children towards the end and the ghost children and all that, it's like, nah.
The ghost children just fucks with the plot, man. They're given like false addresses and stuff. I mean, what kind of ghost does that?
The young girl daughter's annoying in that film, in my opinion. She's a smartass. I don't like her one bit.
I don't know. It just that movie felt like it wanted to be an iconic horror film so badly that it was like, I don't know, painfully cloying to me.
I like the structure though, with the different points of view and how they organized all that. I mean, it was different. It was certainly different than anything I've seen this year.
I think we're dealing with small increments of it out there in America at this point. And so we celebrate what wins we can. And there's nothing wrong with that. Horror fans have been long suffering over the decades, so it's not like it's new. So in the next box, next to Stone, is a new face to the region-free universe, the Freeverse. No, that sounds bad. Chris, introduce yourself to anyone unawares of what you do and where you go.
I am Chris C. I am Black Glove Reviews for what you see. You got the yellow hat. You kind of know what that means. If you like slashers, if you like the giallo, which practically every giallo is a proto slasher, you know that's my cup of tea. Yeah, that's the channel kind of for you. That's what I review mostly, with films like that in that genre.
Excellent. And how did you spend your summer vacation? Although for you, it was just today's really just a starting point.
All good. You know, I work in the grocery business, just doing my thing. I remember watching Final Destination Bloodlines. I thought it was a fun film. The to your point, Lorne, the two actors that play the brothers, they killed it. They killed it. They made that film.
Did you have the same experience where, like, when they first got on screen, you're like, oh no, this is, but then they like became like the center point of the movie for you, and you're like,
oh, the tattooed up one is like great or something like that. He's all like over the garbage, the garbage truck, going, oh no, and all this other stuff too. That's like one of the greatest kills in the film. Tell you the truth, that's hilarious.
I really liked Bloodlines, and I get the people who didn't. I get their complaints, but it wouldn't work if we'd gotten like a Final Destination film every 3 years in the intervening years. A lot of it is just because the rarity was there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I did enjoy it quite a lot, and like when it ends up being on my top 10 list for the year, people are gonna be like, really? But to me, it's like it did everything that you want in a Final Destination movie, and we haven't gotten one for a long time.
Yeah, they should have called it the penny, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, but I like that. I love the motif of the penny. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
It obviously held up for you then, did you, on second watch? Because for me, I watched it first time, had a lot of fun with it and all that, because we were discussing it on the show at one point. And then it just kind of went down for me, on a repeat viewing.
Yeah. I think that's kind of true. It's kind of true of that franchise. I mean, the second film is the rewatchable one.
It is. Yeah. It's the most rewatchable one. Yeah.
And that's cast, by the way. That second film has an amazingly good cast.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, for that series, I like it a lot more than most of the entries. So, and again, I'm not the guy who watches something 7 times in the first year it's out. No, I watch it once, I leave it alone, and I come back to it many, 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 many months, years later, once. And there's just too much good new if you search with your good eye open. To keep revisiting the same stuff over and over at this point, I think. Exactly. But that's personal philosophy. It's not for everyone. Sam!
Lorne,
what did you do over the last few months?
I watched like every possible season of America's Next Top Model. I swear to God.
I love that show.
Season 12 is awful, though. None of those girls know what they're doing. I'm sorry, but it's like when you have to go and skip over the woman who's telling the story about sleeping in the Port Authority and then about how her baby daughter died in her arms, and you take the word over her. And then the second runner-up is the girl who always wanted to have a nosebleed but didn't her whole life. I'm like, what are we even doing?
Well, you can solve that problem fast. That's not a tribulation. You can solve that. In fact, someone should have.
Well, she actually that runner-up went on to become some sort of meme format later on, which is very strange. I can't think of which meme it was now, but I did get to see a couple of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies on the big screen because
very nice
screening them.
Yeah,
but saw Nightmare on Elm Street 4. Great experience. If anybody gets a chance to see that, Draft House Regal, whatever's running it, do it. It was so immersive. I don't know if it was something they did something different with the sound, and I'm not really sure if these are these aren't like the fully restored versions from that new box set, but maybe it's like the slightly remastered or whatnot. We also saw Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and that movie, because I saw it in a theater, went down on my ranking list. So that movie is not something that needs to be watched in a theater. It's
a one-time watch.
Huh?
It's a one-time watch.
It's fine if you want to sit at home and it's a folding laundry movie. You put it on when you're at home folding laundry.
I like that. Yeah, I like that analogy.
Don't have to pay much attention to it, but those scenes with Dylan and Heather are just exhausting. But the final act does look really good in the theater. That's about it. And that pterodactyl actually looks more like some sort of bat demon than a dinosaur.
Well, at least it looked better than the end of Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare, where his head comes out a number of times. Like, I
mean, it's not that much fiction, though.
What is that shit?
He still gets the demon head at the end of Wes Craven's New Nightmare too, but you're not getting all the the little pixels from Freddy's Dead. Although I would definitely see Freddy's Dead in the theater after seeing Wes Craven's New Nightmare in one. Woo!
And then we'll never mention the remake ever again. Yeah.
Isn't it sad that I didn't see the first 2 Nightmare on Elm Street films in theaters, but I saw all the rest in the theaters, like originally?
Right.
It's okay. You're not going to get kicked out of the fandom for that. I think you're good.
I was too young at the time to see those in the theater. But
I've seen all of them in the theater, and I'm not a fan. But on the original time through, I started with 3 as it was my first theatrical, and that was my first disappointment with the series too. So,
Dream Warrior.
I saw 3 in a theater, and every
superhero movie. I don't fucking dig it.
I know. 3 is still, 3 is very fun though, I think. And everybody went nuts because we went to see 3 in a draft house, and everybody was like just going speaking out like Kincaid's lines, like it's fucking Rocky Horror.
Bad Dreams is better than
Bad
3.
Dreams is way better.
Yeah.
Bad Dreams is dope.
Part 3 just doesn't it's good when you're 16 years of age, we go back. Yeah. I loved it at that age. I've been back to it fairly recently, and it just doesn't hold up at all. New Nightmare, the same. I totally agree with you. I don't think that film really is just a one time. It doesn't hold up. The first 2 Nightmare on Elm Street is where it's at, really. And I do love Part 4 as well.
I know Sam and I have disagreements on this, and they're not blood feuds because I think we see each other's point of view on this. But, I really don't think you can take anything away from the original film. It's not a perfect film, but it works as a great ghost story. It works. The problem is, as a supernatural slasher series, I think they work less and less well as they go along. But that if they could recapture that ghost story aesthetic from the first film, there would be something there for me again. But they're never going to try and do that though. So, but Sam, I'm glad that you have it and you love it, and that you got to see these on the big screen. Don't you guys love how many reissues we're getting?
Yeah, I know. Regal's been doing a great job of just putting out everything this month, but I'm not going to be able to really take advantage of it. It's like I'm
me neither.
Already close, man.
I tried to look up to see if Friday the 13th Part 3 is playing down here, and it's not. So
that's crazy.
I would have gone.
I'd love to see that in the theater.
Sure,
that would have been fun.
That would have been fun.
I've seen it quite a few times projected from 35, but from the Exhumed guys, and it's always a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, at this point, I wouldn't watch that movie at home. I would just wait till the next time I could see it.
Right, you see it in the theater, yeah.
I've seen it enough. I mean, I'm not missing anything. It's not like there's not something rolling around my head as an echo. But so, Darren, sir, first of all, welcome to the cast of Region Free.
Thank you.
And how did you spend your summer vacation?
Pretty much anyone who's been on our channel, I just reviewing Italian horror films as many as we can, me and Dirk. I didn't go anywhere special, to be honest, over the summer. Just churning out the podcast, really, and the streams. I do a lot with Chris as well. We got our own kind of podcast.
Sleepaway Camp, Slasher Stream 10. That was a great stream you and I did.
A lot of summer slashes we do on Chris's channel. And some of them don't hold up, man. Because I with slasher films now, I like the more kind of the intense ones, with the great chase scenes and all that. The goofy ones, not so much no more. But I loved them as a as a kid. They just don't quite do it for me like they used to. But no, just that, man. Just Italian horror, really.
Awesome. And not the new girl anymore. The Wicked Witch of Joyzy.
Joyzy. I don't say Joyzy. I didn't do much, guys. Life, working.
Yeah.
I never have time to watch anything.
Same. Got it. Although I did watch Hocus Pocus this weekend. I had to get
The
that
original?
Yeah, and I followed it up with the second one, but you know what? The second one's fine. I just don't pay attention to it. The first one still makes me cry at the end, though.
The second one is they need to stop touching movies. That's what irks me the most. Is
Yeah,
that
change the narrative. Absolutely, change the narrative.
They keep touching my movies. I can't. I love Hook. I'm wearing a Danny sweater.
You are. Yeah, I noticed that.
So yeah, I've been working a lot trying to get to the theater to see things, failing miserably. I will say that this year I did get to go see Hit Third Case in theater, and now picked it up on a almost legal Blu-ray, and that was it's a great flick. It challenges you because it asks you to follow a protagonist that it's very difficult at times to see as a good guy, but he's still definitely fighting for the right side. Just his means might be a little extreme, or a lot extreme. But the last 20 minutes of that film is pure carnage, with as many bodies falling to pieces as basically a film can contain. There's also putting an infant in peril. There's a lot of fun stuff. That's a lot of fun. But anyway, let us get started with the show proper.
Fort Worth, Texas, Gates.
Take care, Alana. It's been real.
Can I ask where you're going in such a hurry, miss?
Patterson.
New Jersey? Why?
Just going where the work is. New gig talking about horror movies on a YouTube thing.
What we got here? Fancy-ass man in a fancy-ass suit. Hope you didn't forget your wallet on you today. Now, did you? What'd you say about a little longer? I could use you to spot me some.
Newark. All the places in this world, and I'm still in Newark. I can hear the sirens in the distance and the ones closer to this $65 a night room. Why the fuck am I still in Newark? There are horseflies buzzing on the windows and muffled yells coming through the walls. And here I am. But the sun rose a couple hours back, and I suppose it's time to go meet my team. I don't know what today will bring, but I sure as hell hope it's better than yesterday.
Nice reference to Apocalypse Now.
There's a lot more coming. So what
I
do you guys?
have so many questions.
Oh, there's more of those too. So what are you guys all drinking tonight?
Water.
I've just done an energy drink.
Sam's got water.
Clear water.
Water, Sam.
Water.
Really?
Water.
I mean, I had pre-workout earlier when I was doing my strength training, but that was
Nice.
earlier.
Sprite.
There's some kind of audience overlap between drinking water and horror.
Lord.
This is
Looking good in the red dress,
spice.
Sam.
This is the winter spice cranberry that I wait for all year,
Nice.
and I drink it like it's gonna disappear and never come back next year.
Well, funny you say
Nice.
that, because I just picked up Diet Coke with lime is back in the real world.
Oh.
Okay.
It was discontinued about 6 years ago, and it was a heartbreaker because I
Remember that.
I don't drink a lot of aspartame-based diets, but this was always a good. And I bought a case of it immediately when I saw it was back for a limited time only. With
Since you
new
asked about
packaging.
drinks, who's eating anything other than me coloring cookies, like in front of me? Hold on.
Oh, those are cute.
I ate beforehand.
Wally
Same.
World. They are cute and they're really good.
Nice.
All right, so we're entering the Halloween season. We've actually entered the Halloween season. I've already carved the pumpkin, for Christ's sake. What do you guys? First of all, what are you guys planning anything special for Halloween this year? You doing anything?
Well, we're going as the we went to Curse City Con. I forgot to mention that because that happened a couple weekends ago.
We met up with Cullen.
Huh?
You met up with Cullen.
I did, yeah. He's super cool, and he signed pretty much like all the things that we bought from him, and then a couple of things that I brought because I wanted him to sign. But we got like all of the Sixth Gun, the whole thing.
Oh,
so because Chris has been wanting to read, not you,
I know.
Mike Chris has been wanting to read Sixth Gun forever. And then he also apparently did an issue of Chilling Adventures of Salem. So obviously I had to get that because there's a black cat on it, and I'm just a big softie for black cats, having one of my own. And it was great. Like, he was right in front of the line to R.L. Stein, and just, the line to get into the line to see R.L. Stein, kind of. So we just, swung on by. But we went as Herman and Lily Munster. So, and honestly, yeah, I have the pics somewhere up on my Twitter, but it was really fun. The makeup took a long time, and Chris had to shave his beard, which is always very strange.
He's definitely tall enough for that role.
Oh yeah, no, he was very popular. Everybody thought that was great. But yeah, we're gonna be just doing what we usually do for Halloween, and we're gonna just give out candy, and Stone's gonna be joining us. And although he should be dressed as Grandpa Munster, because look, he could pull off a Grandpa Munster, and then he can just use that again. He can use that again if we ever want to do a cosplay for Gremlins 2. I'm just saying.
So I think, Stone, I think you just need to, just as for spite, you need to show up as Gomez Adams.
Oh, maybe. Well,
yes.
And as a footnote, I forgot to mention that I did fly to Long Beach, California in late August to the Long Beach Comic-Con, and I did my very first cosplay, and I'll be wearing the same costume on Halloween, dressing up as Jack Flack from the movie Cloak and Dagger, for those of you who remember that little gem.
It's been years.
Written by our favorite man, Tom Holland, Fright Night and Child's Play. Yep.
Child's Play.
Yeah,
Omen.
Stone has the board game for Cloak and Dagger.
I'm the biggest Cloak and Dagger fan on the planet.
It's a fun film.
And where was it shot, Sam?
Random places in San Antonio.
Yeah.
That mall is not. That was not a San Antonio mall, though. I really don't think so. I don't think that was Windsor Mall.
So Halloween is obviously a special time of year for all of us. My favorite time of the year. And the holiday itself isn't as important to me as the season of Halloween. And I think you got to make the most of it. And if you don't enjoy it, that's on you, because you probably just didn't get out there. You can't turn around without pumpkin spice something hitting you. And there's all kinds of advice out there to hit your local hayrides. Everything has something every day this month that you can enjoy to enjoy the season. So by the time you get to the day of, to me, it's over. But I love the season so much. But guys, do we know any factoids about this holiday that might be a little bit off the beaten track that you wanted to share? Whoever wants to go.
Right, do you want me to start? Because I'm not sure with this subject. I don't know how this is going to hit, but I pretty much kind of come up with the idea of like unsolved murders that actually happened in real life on Halloween night. So there's the first one I'll just briefly mention is an Indian girl called Panna Jananga, and she was born in India. Her father encouraged her to move overseas to study software engineering. And she actually died on the night of Halloween. She was going to like Halloween parties in a block of flats where she lived, dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. And the parties began, normally enough, with drinking, dancing, taking photos and all that. But when she was in her apartment block, during like a little scuffle broke out. And like everyone was literally ushered out of her room. She lived alone, but by 3 a.m., as she returned to bed, no one could get hold of her. Like a day later, 2 days later, I think it was. And then her lifeless body was pretty much found face down on a carpet, partially covered with a cloth. On discovering the body, the front door had been kicked in. She'd been gagged with like duct tape, beaten around the head, burn marks all over her body, and she had been strangled. I know this is not, a feel-good actual, but a neighbor reported
like a Friday night.
Yeah. So a neighbor did report hearing consensual sex coming from the room at 3 a.m., followed by sounds of running water. There was like a strange growling coming from the room at one point as well. But they ruled out their boyfriend. There was a prime suspect, Emmanuel Fair. All evidence kind of pointed to him. And he had a long list of offenses as well, including sexual assault on a minor. But there's a documentary on YouTube if anyone's interested, because there's more to the story. So I thought I'd mention that one, and I'll quickly just mention one more from the UK.
So the boyfriend is probably the big bad wolf. I'm sorry, in that scenario.
Well, it's weird because there's one guy that went to prison, and if you delve deeper into the case, there's like an acquittal and all that. So yeah, if you want to check it out, it's all on YouTube. There's
circumstantial evidence.
Chris, I think, could dig it because he likes his true crime. But there's just one more I want to mention is Catherine Lillian Armstrong. She was from Newcastle. And this was a case from 1963. She was a 70-year-old who was found stabbed to death at home, a retired headmistress and a very religious person. She was leading like a quiet life. On the morning of the 1st of November, police were alerted by her cousin. Her curtains remained drawn, and she was like an early riser, so they pretty much knew something was up straight away when no one answered the door. Police found her lifeless body at the bottom of the stairs, fully clothed. She had a dress on, she had a cap, slippers on, but she had a nylon stocking around her, where she'd been strangled. She fought off her attacker. She was stabbed like 28 times in the face, in the neck. But there was literally a lack of motive. There was no break-in, nothing. So the police presume that she knew her killer. And then, she was seen by two children the night of Halloween at 6:30 in the window, of all things, and she never kind of showed up for like choir practice. There was a prime suspect who was actually killed a 71-year-old woman a year previously in the same area, but nothing come of it. And, they didn't have enough evidence, I guess. And another theory was maybe it was the kids in her school that kind of got together and, killed her as well. But by January 1964, 16,000 local people were interviewed in the case and just nothing come of it. It remains unsolved to this day. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think of that. That was kind of the thing I come up with.
Darren wanted to start us off with something feel good and happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, true crime. Yeah.
I'll go ahead and I'll piggyback off of that a little bit. When I was a kid, I was looking before the stream. I was looking through my old picture albums and stuff like that. Gets me a little emotional a little bit because my father's no longer with us. But they took a picture of me on Halloween, and they took one picture where there was just a load full of kids just down the block at our door getting candy. One of these days I'll find that. But my first costume really was the devil. So you have a red mask with the horns, and you have the pitchfork. Growing up, I'm Catholic. Growing up, there's many interpretations of the devil. People say that really, devil's really everywhere. Different interpretations. Lilith can be interpreted as the devil in certain aspects. And, I work in the grocery business, and I was a member. One of my former employees was checking out a customer, and he asked her, "Are you doing anything for Halloween?" And she's all like, no, that's like devil worship holiday and stuff like that too. Harkens back to the time of year, the Feast of Samhain, the end of summer, which I believe is stuff like that, pagan rituals. And then around New Year's time, when I was like maybe 16, this is my best interpretation of the devil. Of course, we're going to be talking about him. That's Tim Curry as Darkness. Terrifying. To me, that's his best role. Interprets what this holiday kind of is. And it's my favorite day of the year, of course, like that too. But yeah, it's the devil. And I see different interpretations of the devil. Girls dress up as the devil, boys dress up as the devil, the adults dress up as the devil, and just what that kind of represents this time of year.
if you get a chance, there's a Tim Curry film called Pass the Ammo, which he plays a corrupt Southern preacher who's running a mega church.
Nice.
Who decide to rob him.
He also plays the Cardinal in the Three Musketeers film, which they've never done a good film based off of that book. But him as the Cardinal, he fit that part. Cardinal's a conniving, evil genius of a character. But just that interpretation, and you see him in those little devil costumes, and like I say, different versions of them. Of course, it goes by different names. So yeah.
Stone, what do you got?
Has anybody heard of the name Ronald Clark O'Brien?
No.
Well, maybe the story is more obscure than I thought. It's known as the infamous Candyman case from Texas in 1974. On Halloween night, O'Brien was heavily in debt, and he used the holiday to carry out his plan to collect on his children's life insurance policies, where he distributed 5 21-inch pixie sticks to his son, his daughter, and 3 other neighborhood children. And all 5 of the pixie sticks were laced with cyanide. Timothy was the only child who consumed the candy. He immediately complained that it tasted bitter, became violently ill, and he died within hours. The other 4 children did not eat the candy, luckily saving their lives. Initially, O'Brien attempted to blame an unknown neighbor, but investigators quickly found inconsistencies in his story. They discovered that O'Brien had recently taken out life insurance policies on his children, and his story fell apart during questioning. He was convicted of capital murder in June 1975 and was executed by lethal injection in March of 1984. And the case earned him nicknames like the Candyman and the Man Who Killed Halloween, and led to heightened parental fears about tampered Halloween candy for decades. Wow. Obviously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It does sound familiar.
Now it does sound familiar.
It kind of does. I remember because there was one, I don't know if that was the same one who died in failed attempt at the gas chamber. That's the reason why they got rid of that method of doing that. I know it's somebody like that too, but man, so...
On a lighter note, I wanted to share just a quick personal story because I loved trick-or-treating when I was a kid. That was one of the few things growing up where I found absolute joy in doing. And I remember it was Halloween 1989, and my elementary school was putting on a costume contest. And of course, we had about 30 kids show up as Batman, because Batman was the big film over the summer. And, I said, you know what, screw all that. I'm going to dress up as the Joker. So I dyed my hair green. I put white makeup all over my face, smeared my lips with red, and I had the purple suit. I had everything. And I even had a squirt flower that I filled with water. Of course, in the movie, he uses acid, but I wasn't going to do that. I was the only one to show up as the Joker at this costume contest, and there were 30 kids around me wearing Batman costumes. And when I walked by the judges' table, I squirted every single one of them in the face with the flower, and I ended up getting 4 ribbons that night for my costume. Yeah.
Excellent. I think if you watch the Visited by Voices episode with Nancy Kilpatrick, she actually tells that story about the Halloween poisoning as the basis for the urban legend about, because she's done a lot of she has done a lot of nonfiction about the holiday.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that a myth though with the razors in the apples?
Yep. Basically.
Yeah, it's never really happened. No.
So actually it's funny because Halloween as a night has some of the lowest crime of the entire year.
Okay. Yeah.
And well, it's for a very simple reason, right? Everyone's in groups.
Oh yeah.
I mean, then you see, and actually crime is way down in the last 15 years or so anyway, simply because everyone has a camera today, and the surveillance
ring doorbells.
Yeah, the surveillance state is so crazy anyway. But then on that night, that like everyone's taking photos of their kids, taking video of them. So trick-or-treating should really return, because it is like literally the safest thing you can do with your kids. If all the towns would do it on the actual night. That's the other thing. Like,
it's a dying
I'm sorry,
tradition.
get rid of your trunk or treat and go back to the actual night.
I mean, in the UK, it's so much different when I was a kid, because it was the busiest night for the police. Because you'd obviously have all the kids going out and they'd be buying eggs and flour to like pretty much flour. Yeah. Well, and of course we got like Halloween always goes on for like a week longer than you guys, because we got bonfire night literally 5 days later. So the Halloween season still stays around. But no, it was like a free for all back in the day, Halloween, with the police. And another thing is, the UK kids, they didn't want sweets either, like candy, like you get. They wanted money. A lot of people would give you money, and even if they give you a chocolate bar, I mean, you would egg them. You would egg their house, their windows, or whatever. Kids were ruthless.
Guys are hardcore. Yeah.
I can piggyback off of that. So this holiday that we love so much is actually relatively young. Really, it's a very much a 19th century thing. You can trace it back to Samhain or into other harvest traditions, to certain pre-German traditions as well. Again, very rural always, and always about crops. But the oldest probably is Obon, the Japanese Buddhist holiday, which is a 3-day festival, which it includes dancing. But there's also, besides just the celebrations, the feasts and the dancing in the streets, there's another aspect of it, which is that it's an ancestor holiday, in which you're assuming that your ancestors are going to come visit you that night or over the 3 nights.
Dia de los Muertos?
Well, no, it's a little bit different. Because so the Day of the Dead has more of a straight line Catholic history, whereas it goes back to the idea of before Jesus' resurrection, the saints rose from their graves and visited the towns that they came from.
Yes.
Whereas Obon is a very different tradition. It kind of bridges between Buddhism and ancestor worship, which is where the 2 oldest religions really in what we commonly say is Japanese history. But there is dressing up to please your ancestors in your best clothes.
Yeah.
Which is a fascinating deviation from where like kids basically buy and put on a trash bag that's been painted like their favorite character. And the coolest thing I think, though, is that if there is no living relatives of a returning spirit, you're supposed to help them and guide them. So one of the things they do is they'll take lanterns with candles in them and release them into the rivers. And if you have people in your town who have passed that year, who didn't have family, you're supposed to release the lanterns for them as well. This is the most beautiful form of littering I can imagine. I love the fact that they have 3 days of this wonderfully spooky holiday. And I love that you can see like a tradition that goes beyond just the commercialized version of what we love. I don't take anything away from it, but Halloween is a very commercial holiday. And in Japan, it's kind of not Halloween, but Obon is completely kind of the opposite. It's not commercialized. It's very still a like rural ancestor worship, folklore based holiday. And I fucking love that.
Yeah, I don't think secular Halloween has really caught on that much in Japan, but secular Christmas for sure.
Oh yeah.
So in a lot of the world, people don't realize this, like Malaysia and other countries like that, Halloween only goes back to the 1990s for them.
Yeah.
It's that fresh. So there's still.
How does it actually go back to then, Lorne? Do you know? When it first, became.
That's a really controversial issue. Like some people will put it as early as 1905 or 1906. But the Allentown Street Festival that marked the first Halloween parade is in the 1920s in Allentown, Pennsylvania, about 45 minutes from here. Although not in Jersey. Not in Jersey, but close enough. And that kind of is where a lot of historians are placing the origins. Like there's a lot of traditions do kind of feed into the birth of the holidays we know it. Would it be nice if the government declared it an actual legal holiday?
Yes, that'd be amazing.
It is the number 2 celebrated holiday in the country. It as now there's more consumer spending and more participation than Easter or Thanksgiving, and we still have not got it recognized by the government.
I just need the day after Halloween off. That needs to be my holiday because I have to go to the clearance sales.
Yes. Yes.
For home decor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the things. Yes, whatever I can find.
Jess, what do you got?
What do you mean? What do I got?
You have something on the subject?
I love Halloween. I've been trick-or-treating since I could crawl. Probably before that. I like Christmas. It's magical, yada yada. But Halloween is my jam. It's a lot different this year, unfortunately. Closest person that was to me is no longer with us, and he made it really, really special. So this year, I'm just trying to keep my pep in my step for the kiddos, but I don't know. This year feels off.
And that, I think, is the perfect reason to really embrace this holiday.
Yeah.
Let the kids be something else for a day.
Exactly.
Let the kids play.
And maybe let yourself be someone else for a day too.
I still don't know what I'm gonna dress up as, honestly.
Does anyone put up an ofrenda? I just started doing that a couple years back after my mom passed.
Yeah, so I do. I have been for about 11 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's hard this time of year for sure. But having those little pieces to remember people that you've lost, it does help.
And here I thought that Darren was the downer.
Oh, no. Me. Yeah.
I'll say this too. It's like, because I do my witching hour, which is live watch-alongs of these films, and The Crow, the first one, and that's Devil's Night. That's what Detroit used to do that. They used to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Hence the words Devil's Night. Like literally before the Purge, there was Devil's Night, where literally on Halloween, the 31st, you go crazy. And it's not fun. It's not supposed to be good. In the aftermath of that, you see, and so you just see it in there, seeing in those films. I'm like, yeah, it's a Halloween film.
Yeah.
Sam, what do you
have? Well, kind of bouncing off what Stone was bringing up earlier about what was it, Ronald Clark O'Brien?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's interesting. So it's, I watch a lot of random true crime stuff. I was watching something on Max. They were talking about Mercedes McCambridge's son, John Markle.
Yeah.
McCambridge is the voice of Pazuzu in The Exorcist, and how he murdered his family and himself. But, it's seems like a lot of bad financial issues along with a very narcissistic mother. I was like, Jesus Christ. And he did it in a mask, and it's just it's kind of eerie.
Wow, I've never heard that.
I had no idea. I had no idea either.
Yeah.
I was like, this is crazy.
So that film's a cursed film because of the fact, what is it, Darren? One dude on the operating thing or something like that, and ended up being a serial killer that Wayne freaking interviewed.
The machine tech in the
with the glasses.
The tap stain. It's in the tap stain. He's barely on screen, but he's
you on about cruising now, are you? Yeah.
Some people say, some people don't. It's weird. Friedkin went back and forth. I don't know.
That guy did actually admit it, I think, to Friedkin at one point, in so many words.
Friedkin went to visit him in prison twice.
Yeah. And it was weird how those killings stopped when he was incarcerated. So it pretty much was him. But yeah, he is in The Exorcist.
Yeah, it's definitely cursed production. That wasn't the little Halloween tidbit I had, but I kind of found out this little piece of information. Have you guys heard of the Katshi? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's spelled Cat Sith. If that helps. Or if you play Final Fantasy, it's Kate Sith.
Kate Sith.
Yeah, so it's a little black cat that has a little patch of white on its chest. Well, it's not really little, but it comes from, Scottish and Irish folklore, so associated with Samhain, of course. But it's supposed to roam the highlands, and sometimes it steals the souls of people. And one of the things is rumored that it could transform into a cat like 9 times, but then no more would be stuck as a cat. Exactly.
Oh.
So after that, the change would become permanent. So the Katshi is usually considered a harbinger of misfortunes, kind of like where we get our black cats are unlucky, which BS. I call shenanigans.
Absolutely.
Black cats are good luck.
Cats of any stripe, even if they don't have stripes, are good luck.
Well, technically, I think black cats do have stripes, but you can't see them. They're like black, kind of a black tabby.
Listen, if you have to put your cat in a black light, it doesn't count.
Black cats as bad luck is propaganda spread by orange cats. Just to throw that out there.
Morris.
I'll let Lucy and Soul know that since they're
Garfield.
Garfield, yeah. Heath
Garfield.
Okay, thank you guys for a surprisingly layered and deep conversation about Halloween. Also,
I forgot, with the Katshi, you want to leave out like a little saucer of milk for it on Halloween. Don't actually leave real milk out for the cats.
They can't
cats can't process it. Yeah. If you want to leave milk out, get the cat milk, and that's fine.
Cat milk.
So that being in Scotland.
Well, it's a tall building. Can't imagine what you're compensating for, Lorne.
I kind of think subtext is his thing, Sam. He'd probably just tell you to stay in your lane.
I can do subtext. Dan Schein! Lorne told you to have the dust bunnies for this thing?
Not directly. He went through my agent, but here I am.
Here we are. And just to be clear, if anyone calls me new girl this season, I'll tear your pineal glands out through your fucking eye holes.
Have any of you seen him? Do we know when he's planning to show up?
You guys really don't check your DMs, do you? Lorne said not to wait, that the key's under the doormat.
In this city? That doesn't seem safe.
You couldn't pay anyone from this town to step 1 foot inside the wall tomorrow.
What is phone? Sorry about that. All I was gonna say is that being from Scotland, that myth, I've never heard of it, and I'm in the UK.
That's a tall building. Yeah.
I definitely want to research that McCambridge story with the stone. That's interesting me a bit now. Yeah.
Ladies
also, steak.
The steak sauce has arrived.
Can't have steak without steak sauce. Definitely.
Hey, things, man.
Hey, Steak, what is going on? How did you spend your summer vacation, which was a year-long vacation?
Yeah, right. Did a lot of introspection. I worked on myself. No, not a thing. There's nothing. It's empty. I made some vision boards. I burned them. That's mostly it.
Amazing. And it's great to see you back on the show, and what a great time of year to have you rejoin us.
Happy to be here.
Well, don't make it a once in a lifetime ordeal. Let's see you on the regular.
We got to get those 13ths to line up, man.
I gotcha. I'm worried about a few of them myself.
Oh yeah.
He's telling you to control the calendar.
Yes.
Well, someone here should be able to. So there was a television series this year recently on a long-running franchise that at one point mattered to a lot of people. So Alien Earth.
No.
First off, show of hands. Who watched one episode? Keep your hand up if you watched 2 episodes. Keep your hand up if you watched 3. Keep your hand up if you finished the fucking thing.
Sam.
I'm a fucking sucker again.
Damn.
Okay, fell for it again.
Because the rest of us are going to be accused of not having given it a fair chance. I want you to lead this off and let us know your top line thoughts on the atrocity that is Alien Earth.
Oh God, I wasn't. I thought at least somebody else would have finished the show. I think it's overall, I think it's kind of one of those situations where, you know what, this would be okay-ish if this wasn't attached to Alien. You know, if it was kind of its own thing. I had that feeling with the Child's Play reboot. With
I like that a lot more than this.
Do what?
I like the Child's Play reboot a lot more than this.
I could see
I
where
like
you
Child's Play reboot.
I do too.
I would prefer just not to be, attached to that existing franchise.
I can see that.
But I mean, I think it was funny because Stone. How many episodes did you watch? Was it 2? Did you get to 2 or 3?
I made it to 2, yeah, and
you were talking about one of the song lyrics, right? And what was it? Boredom.
Oh, yeah.
Is a burden no one should have to bear, something like that, right?
Yeah, boredom is not a burden anyone should bear. And they sum up my entire attitude about this series.
Yeah, and I mean, it's man, getting fucked up the ass is a good overall theme for the show. I know
it's a good time.
It's not literal. Come on. All right.
Sheesh.
I don't know. I think it kind of did everything that we were worried about, where it's like, hey, Disney's going to do Alien. And they did Peter Pan. And I was like, well, they've got the property, I guess. But I don't know. Lorne, I have to ask you something, though. As a writer, can you remember the last time we've seen a Mary Sue in the mainstream-ish? I mean, because maybe
Oh, Wendy?
I don't even want to say Bella from Twilight would count as Mary Sue.
Well, I would say the Tomb Raider movies are probably the last big one, because there was one of those just a few years ago. We just forget about it.
Alicia
Vikander. Nobody remembers Alicia Vikander. We remember Angelina Jolie, but
yeah. The problem with the true Mary Sue is that it's transparent. It doesn't leave you any oxygen to have actual drama unless every hero should be able to be deconstructed and reconstructed inside the drama of a single episode or a film or whatever. If they go for too extended period of time being able to confidently handle anything that comes at them, it affects the drama. You can't have stakes. And that's true of any character. It doesn't have to be a female character. Where the female character is particularly a problem is that you have to ignore certain other things that are popular in our culture as far as things to overcome. We have to face facts that they don't cast the sort of women who could take on a 300-pound man in a fist fight and win, right? Because there are women who can do that. Mm-hmm. That's not who they're casting.
Right.
They're casting 85-pound women and then putting them in scenes where they're kicking a guy and he falls through a glass window. It's just stupid. It doesn't work. Mm-hmm. So you're intentionally, because we're worried about what the image on screen looks like, betraying the sense of drama. So I think Hollywood has kind of gotten away from it as far as the physical stuff, or they kind of are writing around it. Well, Black Widow can do anything because she has super training or whatever.
Yeah,
which is just as dumb, but at least they're addressing it.
True.
And it truly, what bothers me about this the most is that strong female action hero Ripley in the original Alien, who barely an action hero to be honest, she's a survivor.
Yes,
becomes a Mary Sue in Aliens, and then has that stripped away from her in Alien 3, and
became
then
back in Alien Resurrection.
It's kind of schizophrenic, right?
Yeah,
I brought it back to Alien though. That was my goal there.
No, I get that. Because I was thinking about that too, when you're talking about what kind of which women can take on a 300-pound guy, and it's well, I mean, not Ripley, not regular Ripley. Sorry, guys.
No.
Because I mean, we all saw her almost get raped in Alien 3. Come on. But then,
that's one
around that for Resurrection.
So that's the kind of thing that, though, I think is so special about Alien 3. Not that all rape almost occurs, but that they put the hero in a vulnerable place that is very relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is super important to good drama. And the whole Alien franchise is kind of about rape. I mean, kinda. Yeah. So I mean, to not have that scene occur in the first two films is almost disturbing. I love how it resolves itself. I love how it doesn't feel like exploitation. Alien 3 should feel like an exploitation film, but never does. And neither does Aliens. The franchise until the Alien versus Predator films never felt like exploitation films to me. Even Resurrection, which I think has myriad issues, but I still feel that they feel like real movies. Problem is, after Alien versus Predator, and after we no longer the Alien versus Predator films, and then what was the fucking last one last year that I hated? What was that title of that thing?
Romulus
is a bad exploitation movie. And I don't mean that in a positive way because I love my exploitation movies. And then this television series is like a nadir. It's the
Romulus is very convoluted. I didn't. I tried to like it. I'm like, yeah. What's the point?
That's what I call Aliens. That's it.
Volume 6.
I'm just tired of them. I'm just tired of them sucking the xenomorph's tits off the 79 film. I'm just tired of it. Romulus was set right after the first Alien, and this new show is set like 2 years before?
2 years before.
Yeah, 2 years before.
I'm tired of this crap. I'm tired of it.
But I appreciate the aesthetic that they're still trying to keep it in line with the timeline.
Me too.
You're literally just doing the Nostromo. That's all the Maginot is just
which didn't get evaporated, which should have gotten evaporated in Romulus. That didn't happen. There were still remnants. We saw the ending to that, and that's one of the things that kind of turned me off automatically when watching the film for the first time. So
yeah. I guess it does, and the some of the memes, if you just look at the memes on Twitter, they're pretty accurate. I mean, it does become How to Train Your Xenomorph.
I didn't make it that far, but I've heard that.
Wow.
Yeah, but for real though, because I think I was watching this while doing other things, so I didn't pay the closest of attention. And I got lost pretty easily after the first, between episode 1 and 2. I was like, what's going on? I've lost track of everything. But there's a part where our main character, Wendy, Jake, I feel you, man. There's a part where Wendy and her brother get attacked by a xenomorph, and they're almost both dead. And then they finally, Wendy is, her consciousness has been uploaded into a synthetic body. She was a 12-year-old with cancer, and then they took the consciousness of a 12-year-old and uploaded it into the adult body, which, Disney, you're not escaping the pedophile accusations.
Yeah. Well, it tries to be hard science fiction when it's not hard science fiction. Trust me, I've read hard sci-fi books. It's trying to do something that it has no place doing. It's like you have to give us some excuse of why you're doing that.
Yeah.
They don't do it.
I had a moderate amount of hope. I mean, just because of the fact that the guy who made this show, Noah Hawley, I think his name is, he's the guy that did the Fargo show, which I met people that loved that show. I mean, it went on for 10 years. I mean, I like the movie a lot, but I never saw the show. I mean, and after Romulus, I mean, I was so burned. I was so burned after Romulus. I'm like, this has got to be better. And then that opening 10 minutes where they basically resurrect everything from Alien, from the imagery. I mean, down to the guy looking like Yaphet Kotto with the cigar and just stop it.
Morrow is the only interesting character.
There's one thing in this film that just put me off, and it's a big no-no. So the creature doesn't have acid blood. Spoiler, does not have it whatsoever. The drool or anything like that. This is a killing machine. It's the ultimate hunt, right? For guess what? The Predator, right? We've seen what they've done with that or tried to do with that. So yeah, that was a big turnoff because there's a scene where, and it's a good kind of ending scene on that research vessel. You see all the grabbers in there and stuff like that too. They're alive. And I'm like going, oh shit. So what's going to happen here? And, there's a scene, of course, where he gets trapped in that chute. The thing tries to hit him, but you see him drool on him. That's supposed to be acid, whatever like that. No, it's not. It just doesn't do it. So
I think you see too much as well. The original Alien, you don't see a lot. But like early on in this series, you just start seeing everything in minute detail. If I had to say anything positive, I would say they played a good Black Sabbath song at the end of the episode 1. And you got Aid Edmondson. I don't know if any of you watch the Young Ones. He turns up in it. So
Nice.
kind of like
Timothy Oliphant. I really liked him. So he's good in everything he does. And I do like the actor that played basically the prick, like smart dude that runs one of those corporations. He's actually good at playing that part where there's a scene where he's talking to that one lady and stuff like that, says, I just want to have an effing conversation with somebody smarter. That's all I want.
Sorry, I'm not going to do spoilers over here.
The only other actor I recognized was the mother from the Babadook. S.C. Davis was. Her. In the second episode, when the eyeball came out of the cat and it became its own little creature, I was like, I think I'm done.
I was like, what's the? I still don't understand. I'm assuming the eyeball is not part of the xenomorph life cycle. It's just the baby Yoda of Alien Earth.
Yeah, exactly. It's the mascot.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what? And then there are the weird fly creatures, which I think they're part of the life cycle. Don't remember how. Do they make eggs? Is that what happens?
That mosquito thing that like sucks the blood out of the 2 guards and stuff like that too. I'm like,
I don't know what that does. I don't know what that is.
The characters as well. There was no one I was rooting for. You can't identify with any of the characters. I know that you got the thing with the brother as well. I think that a bit weird, like an obsession with a brother. But there's nothing there. I tapped out. I was tempted to tap out after 1, but I thought I gotta give it, just in case it was better. But I did 2 episodes and that was enough, man.
I'll just stick with the first 5 films and use the Covenant disc as a coaster. Yeah, that's gonna be.
I like
it's nice to repurpose things.
I love it. I like it. So I mean,
Jesse Smollett.
I used to kind of be thought of as kind of like like Alien was one of those things that people related to me about because I talked about the first film and the third film a lot, and I still do in reference, but it's getting harder because it used to be a series where I'd be like, the big popular one I don't like, but the rest of it I like to do degrees. But now I realize I'm kind of in the Halloween boat with this, whereas there's way more that I don't enjoy than I legitimately enjoy. And that should never have happened here. Halloween is one thing. It's a guy in a mask with a knife. There's a lot of stuff like that out there. They only made 1 film that had any kind of real resonance. And that's true of the Nightmare on Elm Street thing or the whatever. There's not a lot of franchises that really need to be franchises. In the case of Alien, they managed to make 2 films that are really close to my heart. So it's a big deal to me. It was a big deal to me.
Big deal to me too. Oh,
guess
Scott's an all-time favorite director. I love the first film, like to death.
It's in my top 10 films.
No one can hear you scream, dude. It's like crazy and good.
Yeah. I mean, like, Lorne, you don't understand what happens. Like, you've got this synthetic, and then she gets attacked by a xenomorph, and then when they get her online, she can speak xenomorph. Fuck you, why?
Oh, there is no... that's the whole thing. Like, there is no xenomorph language. There is no xenomorph home planet. It is unknowable. That is why people used to call the beast, the alien, Lovecraftian, because you couldn't get your
parasitic. It's a parasite, basically, whatever it goes into.
But it doesn't have to be a parasite as we understand a parasite, right? It is completely alien. That's why the title fucking exists. That's why maybe Google to find out why the Nostromo was named the Nostromo and then get back to me. But the truth is it's that we're so far from the original intent. So far from the original intent that just putting images on screen to reflect the golden era of this franchise, this idea, is offensive to me now. And I went in trying to be, I'm not naturally an optimistic person, but I tried to go in saying, well, maybe this will end mid-tier. Maybe this will make me happy in some way. Maybe it'll have one really cool scene that I won't be able to shake. And I watched that first episode and realized that it's got exactly the modern Hollywood problem, which is these films are written by children. These television series are written by children for children. To the extent
sometimes daddy's children.
To the point where it became necessary for them to insert children into adult bodies so they could have a point of view character that the audience could relate to. It's fucking awful.
Thank you.
I mean, let's not pretend like most of this country isn't just backpack wearing slobs, that are just Marvel, please give me.
That was a beautiful thing. That was a beautiful thing you just said there, Hillary.
Marvel, give me something.
Yeah, but you know what, people? But that's over. Like the Marvel thing is on its last legs. It's on its respirator. The DC thing is clearly like in chaos.
They can't do that.
We're kind of leaving that stage. People are hungry for something more.
That's what I like about DC. They're in chaos. I prefer chaos, rather, to your point, than being just doing the same shit all over again. But give me something, right? To your point.
But
I've been ripping into movies the last year and a half, really just tearing through shit. I found where I spent most of my time is in the 70s. There's so much crazy
in the early 80s. Yeah.
All that blaxploitation stuff is incredible. Really just fantastic. I thought they were just growing up. I never watched them. It's junk. That's why it's exploitation. But oh my God, Larry Cohen's a god.
Oh yeah,
whatever. But even the 60s, a lot of Sidney Lumet stuff. Failsafe is something I think of constantly. That movie gave me anxiety. The end of that movie freaked me out. Just full stop. But they took chances with weird shit back then, and I feel like a little bit they're starting to do that. Some like the substances on that. It's kind of a fucking big leap. There's others that I certainly could eventually come up with for you, but in and out of horror, they are trying to stretch the leg a little bit and maybe I wouldn't say the 70s, but the early 80s, one of these gentlemen said, also has a lot of really offbeat stuff Silkwood. I watched recently. It was pretty good.
Oh, nice. I've seen that. Yeah, that's a masterpiece.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. As an addendum to what Steak Sauce said is that I said earlier in the green room that on Twitter I'm doing a John Carpenter filmography ranking. Watch his first film over Alien Earth. Watch Dark Star. Okay, there's a lot more great stuff in Dark Star.
Shout out
the guy that played Michael Myers plays a alien
warlock
that terrorizes the crew.
I randomly ran across an IMDb comment about Dark Star. It was Dark Star is a comedy, and I'm just fascinated now. I was I wanted to watch it before. Now I'm really intrigued.
It's a Disney film, The Black Hole. Watch that.
Oh,
and see some interpretations to a certain film.
I'm not exactly going to co-sign that one, but that's I understand why you're
Is it a movie that you watch when the kids go to bed, though?
Steak.
Black Hole.
Yeah, no, I got it. Steak. Black shampoo. Put it on your list. I promise you will not look back in anything but absolute smiles and giggles. It is fucking amazing.
Let me do this now.
Yeah. So to cap off the Alien Earth thing, which everyone can quickly say, do we recommend watching this?
No.
If you want something that you want to hate watch because you want to shit on something, you've got plenty of material to do that. But I'm sorry. It's just there's a part where Wendy actually talks about the xenomorphs and why she likes them. It's because she says it's because they're honest. I was ready to get up. I was just
honest. They're kind of hungry and want to procreate.
I'm sorry, but the xenomorphs barely tolerate each other.
If you have Disney Plus or Hulu and there's nothing else you want to watch, then watch it.
There's Chopped. So
if you have Disney Plus, Hulu, and you still need something to watch that's not called Alien Earth, go outside and talk to a friend.
Yeah.
We have one more thing. It was so stupid though, because it was at the end of the show. Because at the beginning of the show, apparently you see her just be able to hack into something to talk to her brother or whatever.
Right through the screen.
Yeah, exactly. And that actually comes back full circle in the dumbest way possible when she's fighting with another synth, and this synth throws her into something and bangs her up, and then he's about to attack her because he just stops, and his eyes they look side to side, and she is hacked into because the other synth is also on the network. She just like hacked into his brain and
pretty sure
what kind of Jurassic Park bullshit is this?
Yeah, that makes no sense. That makes no damn sense.
It's like, again, it's sort of like, oh, is Wendy the one?
Okay,
I'm sorry,
okay.
I was so fucking
He had the
stupid.
blackest eye.
So does anyone want more aliens?
I want to make more fun of it.
No.
No,
did not see anything.
none of us want more aliens. It's on the trash heap alongside a lot of other long-running franchises, and I tried to hold out and putting it on there for very long because it used to mean so much to me. But fuck it, let's not do more Alien.
No, I totally agree. Yeah.
Well, there's going to be a new one. They made a deal with Fede Alvarez to do a new movie. I'm probably not.
Great, because I need that in my fucking life.
Hey, hello?
Is someone in there?
Yes, Don, is that Lorne?
I don't think that's Lorne. This guy's taller and more handsome.
I didn't mean to startle you. My name is Vin Arcana. Until recently, I was the owner of the Waldemar. I was supposed to meet Mr. Dixon today to finalize a few details, but he hasn't turned up. Perhaps something unexpected came up. I don't mean to impose. I'll just leave the paperwork.
Mr. Arcana? What was this place? It's humongous.
The Waldemar was built as a city within a city. 5-star hotel, social club, ballrooms to dance in, and alleys for bowling. You could see a movie on floor 6, drink whiskey at the speakeasy on 12, and hire a lady for the evening a few flights of stairs up from there. It was a little of everything. Until Anatoly Fedorov, of course.
Anatoly Fedorov?
Oh, he's still here, I'm sure, in one form or another. Maybe you'll get to meet him.
Nice.
So, before we get into this next segment, I have to bounce because it's late for me.
Oh.
I know. I wish I could stay.
Oh.
Anyway.
You could if you really wanted to.
I could, but I'm going to fall asleep. And also really have to be, whatever.
Well, I understand, yeah.
Good night, Sam.
Good night, Sam.
Have a great Halloween.
It was so fun being back.
Let's do the time warp again.
The Rocky Horror Picture Show at 50 years old.
Yeah.
I was excited to see that Regal actually had buckets and T-shirts and other things available to purchase for Rocky Horror at 50. That's amazing.
Wow. That's
a
actually
film
how
that
I
actually
found
deserves this reputation.
Wow.
Disney actually spent a bit of money to restore the damn thing, but I mean, I've seen Rocky Horror twice now at midnight showings, and just real quick, the first time it was in Chicago. Well, let me say that the first time I ever saw the movie, it was in 1993, and I saw it on television. It was the very first time it had ever shown on television. Meatloaf was hosting it, and I just kind of watched through the whole thing like, the fuck is this? But I mean, I enjoyed it because of the music. The music won me over very early on. So I saw it in Chicago. And of course, when you go to these midnight shows where they act out everything on the stage below the screen and everything, before the show, they always ask people, look, if you're a virgin, like you've never done one of these things, come up on stage before the show. So, I was there in my Navy uniform. I thought, fuck it. I go up there and I get quote unquote castrated, where I don't know, Magenta gets out a giant thing and then just basically does that. And then I went to Australia a few years later, and I went to another midnight show, and I thought, let me see if there's a difference when I go to the midnight show down here. And at this time, what I got was for real, and I got a blowjob by Magenta. So, massive difference between the two midnight shows. But I've long been a Rocky Horror fan. I mean, Tim Curry, this was his first movie.
It's crazy.
That's insane. That's absolutely insane. I know you mentioned Legend, which is great. I mean, I just saw Clue a few weeks ago at the
Butler.
Alamo Draft House. He's wonderful in that. And of course, Muppet Treasure Island, where he plays Lon John Silver. The guy has done so much over the years. But it is astonishing that this was his very first film, and he just explodes on the screen. He really does. But I love every single musical number. I love the comedy in it. I just love. Do you think this movie is shocking nowadays to anybody? Do you think Gen Z would be shocked by something like this now, or?
Yes, I do. This is
my friend Timmy.
My first time watching it. I was in shock. I knew about the film. I know about Tim Curry. God bless him. He's a great dude. Recent interview with him. I know. He's in a wheelchair because he had a stroke in 2012. Man. Yeah. What a great career he's had. Mm-hmm. But, just the opening shot of Susan Sarandon, my goodness. That's all I'm going to say. My goodness. And him just sitting there as like the priest or whatever, like at this other wedding and stuff like that, just sitting there in that picture like that and stuff like that, just sitting the way it is. Stuff's going to start happening. And then, like you say, stuff just goes on from there. It's a crazy ride, definitely.
I actually think you asked a really interesting question, Stone, because I think that people would be offended by it today, but for exactly the opposite reasons they were offended upon release.
What?
Yeah.
Upon release, I think that the sexual identity stuff was pretty outside the mainstream. Now it's so inside the mainstream that I think that it would be seen as parody and offensive parody.
Yeah.
By a large group of younger people.
And it's from Disney of all things.
Yeah. I love Rocky Horror. I love Rocky Horror so much. I've seen it a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times. I don't even know. It's not the thing I've seen most in life, but it's in the top 5 films I've seen, because we used to go back in the days when I was a teenager, still drinking because I haven't drank legally in my life. We went a lot and had a great evening. But I will tell you that Rocky Horror is great, not for the reasons everyone thinks it is. Have you ever noticed how completely that film feels like a bear hug? Like you walk into your best friend, they put their arms around you, and you feel this incredible embrace. And it's not about Frankenfurter, or it's not about the dance numbers. It's just a film that loves life. It is a celebration of being alive. And it's also a celebration of classic horror movies and science fiction films, which is so wonderful to have both those concepts at play. I love it. I'm not even a musical guy, and I love it. My one big caveat, and this is where everyone who just loves what I just said is going to turn on me, is that I love Shock Treatment more.
Okay.
I need to rewatch that. I need to rewatch Shock Treatment.
It's Shock Treatment. So good. Okay. Shock Treatment is Rocky Horror Picture Show's sequel.
Okay.
I had that plan to watch, and I just didn't get around to it.
Rocky Horror for me.
Yeah, Rocky Horror for me. I'd seen it as a child, like growing up. Probably I was too young to even see it at that age. I'm not a big musical guy. I mean, Rock and Roll High School, I love, with the Ramones. This one, it's got some catchy songs. It's got, I think Rob Zombie owes a lot, Hazel for Thousand Corpses, to this, Some of the actors as well. Richard O'Brien, he's just as freaky in real life he was as he is on screen. Tim Curry, you can't deny that it's a great performance. Could have done with a little bit more of Meatloaf. I would have liked to have seen him more in it.
Yeah.
But I understand why people love it. It's just not for me, really.
Charles Gray, a flippin' Bond villain. The Bond villain. Charles Gray is so good in that. I have to admit, he's like the criminologist.
You've also got references. So you've got, like, Lorne probably likes the, Bride of Frankenstein reference and the RKO stuff.
The movie worships at the feet of RKO. I mean, literally.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, of course it does. Yeah.
But no, it's the Old Dark House is the most obvious inspiration, right?
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
But they did something else with it. They ran it right off the tracks and gloriously went over the top, but yet off the screen too. Like, it literally is the only film in film history to leave the screen and land in the theater right alongside you. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, you've never been to a theater where it's playing, because it literally happens. And it happens in a way that, especially, I mean, if you get caught up in the moment and you let yourself go, it feels like a rock concert as much as a movie. It feels like an immersive event that you're part of by being there. And movies just don't do that kind of stuff. We love the horror genre, and Rocky Horror is one of those things. It exists in the hazy periphery of the horror genre, right? It's not a horror movie, and yet it can't exist without the horror genre. So what is that? It's almost like it's a parasitic phantom limb, because it probably isn't actually part of the horror genre at all, but yet it feels like it is, and it's constantly referencing itself as it. But there's something about it. It doesn't feel trapped in its time either. This is the only thing. When you watch that movie, yes, it's a 70s movie, but it also has no cloying like tether to the 70s necessarily. It works just as well today. What, there aren't cell phones in it? Besides that, who gives a shit? It looks like it could be made today.
Oh yeah.
I know that they remade it a few years ago for MTV, and I did not watch that thing.
I didn't hear about that. Wow. What I do know is that when Disney acquired the 20th Century Fox library, of course they put all the library in a vault and locked it up. But Rocky Horror was the one that they set aside. You know what? We better keep this in circulation because people are going to riot, I think.
I think if you took all the films, the important films in film history, and you made a list of the 50, say, Rocky Horror has to be on that list.
No, it is.
It has to be on that list. And considering that the whole genre of film as a form of entertainment is only 140 years old at this point. I mean, it's a significant milestone in cinema that should be appreciated. I think we were talking about the actors. I think all the primary actors in this thing are awesome. They understood the assignment and they went with it, which might not sound like a big deal until you realize what the assignment was. There's a lot of work going on. And then on top of it, you're saying, okay, and by the way, it's camp. But it's not like John Waters' camp. It's not even like stage camp. It's its own thing. It has its own feel to it. Fucking phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
I always say that, like, in my heart, I can compare these non-musical musicals because it doesn't function as a musical. The songs are almost like music videos that just interrupt the film. They don't play a lot of plot relevance. Really, they don't. Most of the plot, except for the murder of Meatloaf, I can't think of a single one that really does more than inform you what just happened. But it's interesting. I think Phantom of the Paradise is my favorite of that small genre, than Shock Cream, than Rocky Horror. And yet, I just said that Rocky Horror is one of the most important films ever made, right? Only Rocky Horror can live there. Go ahead, Jess.
I said Rocky Horror to me is just as important as Repo.
I love Repo.
I love Repo too.
Repo has problems, but I love Repo.
They're great problems.
They are. Yeah, that's like marinating in like your best friend's project that you know isn't great, but is great.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of downtime in Repo. But yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing I wish that there was just more experimentation like this. And I don't mean it in the specifics. I don't want a clone of this thing. But think about how wild that pitch meeting had to been, right? Get around a bunch of execs at 20th Century Fox and go, so we want to do a film that reflects 1930s horror Hollywood, but here's the thing. We want to take New York fringe sexual politics and insert it in a fun way. And we're not going to talk down to anyone.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to do this whole thing with a lot of love for everything. It doesn't make sense. Like, I don't understand how it got made. Like, you could say the stage show was popular, but it wasn't that popular that a film had to happen.
Has it ever been banned anywhere? Because there's quite a big gay theme to it.
I'm doubting that in downtown Iran you were watching it in the 70s, but other than that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think so.
So growing up too, I used to have to order a lot of records through the mail because there wasn't record shops that I could just go and buy offbeat things. So one of those things that I bought through Fantico in New York was the Rocky Horror Picture Show audience participation vinyl set. It was 2 discs, and it was the whole movie, just with a recorded audience as well. And that was also mind blowing to me, because that was like, again, like we were talking before we went on the air about novelizations. It was kind of that same thing. I got to see Rocky Horror without seeing Rocky Horror, whatever I wanted. Kind of shocking there isn't a novelization of Rocky. Is there a novelization of Rocky Horror? 20th century.
I won't be
Disney,
surprised.
get in touch with me. I have an idea.
I'll say go for it, Lauren.
I'm down if I have the rights. I'm not spending that kind of time.
You're gonna waste your time, yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah. So I realized
you
that.
Still swear on YouTube? I'm sorry, I might have just ruined
We
everyone's
fucking
life.
can, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, definitely.
There is a 1980 paperback official quote unquote movie novel, and there's also a participation guide.
I have the poster magazine somewhere. It's in a closet in a box. I suppose you shouldn't keep anything Rocky Horror in a closet, but I guess I am.
In a box.
Yeah. All right. That's awesome, guys. And I love the fact that even if this isn't your thing, there's a lot of love for this, because you know what? The world could use more Rocky Horrors and a lot less Conjuring universe films.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. No, I agree with that. Tim Curry kills it. He just does. He just
Everyone does.
Yeah. Great, really. Yeah, Meatloaf, I have to admit, that scene was pretty good. It's quite funny in a lot of spots. The scene in the silk pink sheets or something like that? That's Tim Curry all grinding down there. You don't realize that until he starts talking. I'm like, here we go. And then Susan Sarandon just doing that 150. I was shocked, because I haven't seen her like that before, like ever. I was like, okay. So yeah,
Who's that
here we go.
The Australian actress? She was like got this iconic look to her.
Patricia O'Neill.
Yeah.
She's great. She's great. Little Nell, which was the recording name for
Patricia Quinn, I think is her name.
Oh, Patricia Quinn. Sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Barry Bostwick.
Everyone's great.
Barry Bostwick.
Everyone is fucking great in the film.
I've only seen Patricia Quinn in one other movie. Well, she was in Shock Treatment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is in Shock Treatment. But if you remember from Monty Python's The Meaning of Life in the sex education class.
Oh, nice.
She's the wife that comes out. I do stand up when my wife enters the room, Carter. Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry.
I will say, just because Shock Treatment kind of has a bad reputation, or it used to anyway. I think it's kind of recovering.
Good.
Shock Treatment was Richard O'Brien's statement about Rocky Horror.
Oh,
and that's it. It's so brave, because the only other film that's ever done it is the Blair Witch sequel, whereas you kind of make a film criticism of the previous film. But again, the difference is like Richard O'Brien can't do anything without a lot of love. A couple years back, my friend Neil did a backyard drive-in showing of Flash Gordon, which Richard O'Brien is also in briefly at the end. And the moment he's on screen, like everything changes. Like the kind of like dumb campiness becomes high camp, and it becomes wonderful for a little while. Richard O'Brien is a miracle, and he's one of us. I mean, whatever you think he is, also whatever, but he's one of us. He loves this shit. You know, I mean, as much as I love Fay Wray, he probably loves Fay Wray more.
There you go.
Did you ever see the Crystal Maze, a UK TV kids show?
No, and
he was just as weird, man, on that.
Yeah, I love it.
It's like in Ted. Flash Gordon's here at the concert. What? Yeah, he's here. The fanboys in that film. It's so good. It's like, hey guys, you want to do cocaine? Sure. It's like, just stuff like that. Yeah, you play for the New York Jets. You're the quarterback. Yeah, I love that film.
So Jesssessica Harper's in Shock Treatment, is she?
She is. That was during her.
That's weird. She's in Phantom of the Paradise as well.
Phantom of the Paradise, Shock Treatment, The Evictors, and Suspiria within like 5 years.
She's in The Evictors. Oh, I need to watch that one. Yeah.
If you like Jesssessica Harper, you're gonna like The Evictors a lot. It's not a great film. I'll just leave it at that.
Sunday, and the same director.
Yeah. Awesome.
Boggy Creek.
Apparently, Shock Treatment has never been released on Blu-ray in the United States, but Arrow Video released it on Blu-ray with a new commentary with Patricia Quinn, Little Nell, as well as the Rocky Horror Treatment. And evidently, Richard O'Brien did write a direct sequel to Rocky Horror called Revenge of the Old Queen. In the story,
Nice.
Brad's brother Steve seeks revenge on the aliens in the first film after Brad becomes a Las Vegas go-go dancer and falls to his death from a trapeze wearing only 6-inch heels and a rhinestone choker. Also revealed as Sonny, the illegitimate son of Janet and Frank and heir to the throne of transsexual. The script never made it past the early draft stages.
Yeah.
Did he direct? Did Richard O'Brien direct Shark Treatment,
No.
or did he just?
No, that was the same director,
Okay.
Jim Sharman, who did the first one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, my push for you is if you haven't seen Shock Treatment but you don't love Rocky Horror, or if you have seen it but not for a long time, go back. So good.
That poor girl trapped in the monster's clutches. Oh, Joel, can't we do anything?
Get lost 3 times already. The layout is very confusing.
And Lorne is still MIA?
I mean, maybe he's here somewhere and lost like I was. Except for way longer. Now that I'm thinking about it, should we be concerned?
I mean, it's Lorne. He probably saw a squirrel.
Gentlemen, do you understand the assignment?
It's simple enough, isn't it? We got to get hired as cast members of this shitty YouTube show and get inside with them, stress them out, really push the envelope.
Move the needle, push them to the edge.
Exactly. I hope my choice of you two proves warranted. I've arranged an interview for both of you in the morning. Follow the script. Remember, mention Hellfest and Hereditary. Not Halloween or Friday the 13th. Oh, and in the meantime, I've left some trash in the boot of this car for the two of you to dispose of.
That's killer, man.
Mention Hellfest.
You should always mention Hellfest.
Yes, always.
Where's the sequel to Hellfest?
Never going to happen.
Never going to happen.
It better not. No.
Yeah, because Tony Todd's no longer with us.
Unfortunately, it should have made 5 million at least. But
Hellfest is.
I saw that in the theater. I love that.
Yeah, no, I saw it in the theater too, and I didn't know what it was, and I just knew it was a horror film. So, and I thought it was a vampire film because the poster has a vampire in it. But
it does.
Matter of fact, I saw that movie in a theater in Wayne, New Jersey.
Oh. At the AMC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
And there many times. So Hellfest is, and I'm just going to make this about Hellfest, but Hellfest is a perfect Halloween movie.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect Halloween movie.
It is.
feels like the season through and through. You can't do better than that movie on Halloween night. Just do it. And keep making it a big cult hit. I don't want a sequel necessarily, but you know what I do want? It to be one of those titles that people speak about as often as they talk about Terrifier or anything else modern. That has
directed by Kirkman. You know, guy who directed the Walking Dead stuff. I saw that in the theater. Was it CBS Productions or something like that? It brought me back into slashers. It really did. It opened my eyes up to what could possibly be, something in the future, other films like that.
One of the best 4Ks you can own, by the way. That is what HDR was created for.
Nice. Yeah, I have the book for that. I need to get the 4K.
It's a great release.
Nice.
So directors are still capable of making great films later in their careers, but they all have to have a place that they all start.
Mm-hmm.
And, Stone made reference to John Carpenter's first film, Dark Star. But I think everyone has to have a starting place. So let's talk about horror films' first movies. Chris, you want to lead us off?
Sure. So I was talking to Darren about this one of who to kind of choose. There was a few. I was almost going to go with Terrence Fisher. I'm a big Hammer fan, but I didn't do that. So this is a very controversial director. I've always said you separate art from the artist. So he did 3 short films before this one. This is the only film he ever directed in his homeland of Poland. That's Roman Polanski. That's Knife in the Water. I watched this a few days ago. It's a great film. It's different than what I thought it was going to be. specifically the ending. Quick thoughts on this too. The woman was dubbed over in like native language by somebody else because he felt that, you know, she didn't sound correct and stuff like that. Same thing with the vagrant is dubbed over as well. Roman wanted to play the part of the vagrant in here. And, you know, the producer kind of said like no and stuff like that too. So it's done. It was made in 1962. It's almost like a film noirish type of a film. It's one of the only films too that's done post World War II where you don't see that aspect of the war at all. It's just these two driving to, this dude's a businessman with his wife, just driving to their boat, which you don't know. Like they pick up this vagrant and then they just start having this conversation. He gets on the boat. He makes some kind of his first mate. He makes associations that there used to be a first mate on this boat. You don't know. It starts raining. The dude is a real dick to him. He really is. So you're thinking something's going to happen. Something does happen. I like the film a lot. I really do. So I give it like a 7.5 out of 10. I really do like it. It just seems with him. Of course, I always go back to Rosemary's Baby and films like that. The Apartment trilogy. That's a great. Anything he made was money, really. And this is the start of that, which is crazy. Of course, we know who he is and his thought process, and talking to Darren about him and stuff like that. Minds create these great films, and you know, it's a great film and it has its place. And so, yeah, it's Roman Polanski. So it's cool diving into him. And he is one of my favorite directors. He just, just like he's done so many different genre of films, you know, going from films like this to Rosemary's Baby to Chinatown, which is to me the last true Hollywood film ever made. And going kind of past that, then getting the Academy Award for The Pianist. You know, this film right here, Knife in the Water, that got a bunch of like award nods for foreign and all this other stuff too. So yeah, Roman Polanski.
I'm just not going to say what I think about Rosemary.
Everyone knows. Yeah.
Right. No, I get it. It's like you either hate it or you like it or you don't. I heard the prequel to it's actually quite good. What it is.
Yeah. The TV movie sequel is awful, and I like it.
Nice. TV movie sequel. There we go.
It's not good. Darren, what do you brought?
Right, so I'm gonna mention Aldo Lado. Really, the guy just easily in my top 10, maybe my top 5 or 6. So when I going back about 20 years ago, and I was starting to get into Italian horror giallo films, and a film title used to come up a lot, and it's Short Night of Glass Dolls. And it was really hard to get hold of, especially in the UK. I had to import like a Blue Underground DVD. And it just blew my mind because at that point I'm thinking, you know, Black Glove Killers. And this film taught me that you didn't have to have a Black Glove Killer in a giallo film for it to be good. The premise to this is just so good. You know, you've got this guy, he wakes up or pretty much wakes up, and he's in this kind of in this back alley, or, you know, going on to this house. But the twist in it is he's presumed dead. But for some reason, his mind still works normally. And what the film does is kind of retrace his steps to how he got there. This is probably one of the best endings you'll ever see in a film.
Barbara Bach. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got the mystery element with Barbara Bach, who plays his girlfriend, and he just goes through everything in his mind. He's piecing back like a puzzle.
Married to Ringo Starr.
Yeah, how he got there. I won't give too much more away about it, but the director then, you know, he did actually go on a year later to make Who Saw Her Die, which is your traditional
great film.
Kind of Black Glove Killer.
Great.
There's a scene in this early on as well where a little girl gets murdered. She's playing in the snow. The killer kind of covers her up in the snow, and you've got the black veil of the killer and all that. Love that. This one he did a 4 years later or 3 years later, Night Train Murders. And I know this one gets kind of mixed up with, you know, Last House on the Left. And even though it is a Christmas film, that's what I love about it. But even though you've got that connection, I think this is the best exploitation film. and I love Last Days, don't get me wrong, but this one kind of really does do it for me. You've got the three kind of, well, you've got the one evil woman character on the train. What these two girls' brutality they put up with is just soul destroying. He did go on and make a giallo in the early 80s. This is a bootleg, you can't really get hold of it. It's an Italian title. And he did Circle of Fear, another 1990s, you can't really get hold of. But Short Night of Glass Dolls, if you've not seen it, honestly, I highly recommend it.
Great release from Celluloid Dreams of that.
Yeah, there's a couple of releases. Yeah, check out Aldo Lado, man. You know, he's one highly underrated, I think, along with likes of Diodato. He's up there for me. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I was going to go originally with Dario Argento, but everyone, you know, Bird with Crystal Plumage I absolutely adore, but I think everyone kind of knows him. So yeah, Aldo Lado, check him out.
I will definitely co-sign Lado. Jess, did you bring anything to this party?
Sorry, I'm in and out a lot.
Okay. Stone, what do you have?
I got 3 to go through real quick, and Cliff Booth actually mentioned the very first one. Here is Peter Bogdanovich's Targets.
Boris
Karloff. Man.
Yeah,
that movie is
Boris
so
Karloff.
damn good.
Along with Rosemary's Baby and Night of the Living Dead, this was one of 3 landmark horror films that came out in 1968. One of Boris Karloff's last movies. Peter Bogdanovich gave him a great platform here to really let him shine. And, you know, unlike some of the other films that he made in that period.
Yeah, exactly.
Boris Karloff is just, you know, amazing to watch in this. And I love the drive-in climax. I love the scene on the freeway, which they shot illegally, by the way.
Yeah.
When he's just going up there and just starts shooting people indiscriminately. Yeah, that was all done without permits, man. That was insane. But I'm glad I have this new Criterion version. And if you're interested, Sam and I and her husband Chris did a whole video on it. It's available on YouTube. And I mentioned earlier that this month we're doing John Carpenter as far as like a filmography ranking on Twitter. And for September, I decided to do Oliver Stone, and I saw his first 2 films, which included Seizure from 1974, a really bizarre little movie that I think he just wanted to basically say, hey, look, I directed a film, guys. My name is Oliver Stone. You know, it's got Irv Villachese from Fantasy Island, and it's got
he had to sleep on his knees.
I'm forgetting right now, but I mean, Seizure, it was okay. It had some interesting aspects to it. Jonathan Frid from Dark Shadows. That's right. Yeah, he does. Nice. He does like a comic book or something, and like some of those characters come to life and start terrorizing him actually in the middle of the night, which is weird. But I was more impressed by Oliver Stone's second film called The Hand.
Oh wow! Okay. I've seen that available.
This is a really cool psychological thriller that I really dug. Michael Caine is incredible. He didn't do a lot of horrors, I don't think, at that point, but this was Oliver Stone's first studio film. He did it for Orion Pictures through Warner Brothers and everything. And this Shout Factory Blu-ray actually has a commentary with Oliver Stone, as well as several interviews with the cast members. And it's just, it's so weird. Michael Caine plays a comic book writer, and he and his wife have an argument, and he loses his hand when they're having an argument. When they brush something, he loses his hand, and he's like looking for it out in this field and whatever. He just can't find it. Well, apparently the hand has taken on a life of its own, and it's like channeling all the negative energy and negative feelings that Michael Caine is feeling, and like it starts to really impact things. And it's so twisted, and it has a sense of humor about itself, based on a book called The Lizard's Tale, which Oliver Stone really got into. And remember, this is before he did Platoon and Born July, JFK. He had just won the Oscar for Midnight Express.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, yeah. So The Hand, highly recommend The Hand. And finally, last but
Wait.
not
The Hand pairs really well with Magic as a double feature. I'm just going to put that out there.
I love Magic. I love Magic.
Who doesn't?
Yeah,
Dude, that film is so
very similar palettes to work with.
Yeah, it's a psychological thriller, definitely.
Sorry to interrupt.
And add Margaret too.
That's in the Twisted Terrors collection as well. I think I've got The Hand on DVD.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Twisted Terror collection.
That's right. Yeah.
It
was
15, 20 years when I was released.
Yeah, Warner Brothers put out like an 8-film set called the Twisted Terror collection.
Yeah. Got
all they don't do it for Warner Archive. I'm shocked. I'm shocked they don't do it for Warner Archive. I mean, it was meant for that platform, and I like Warner Archive. I like that, that branch that they have.
Yes, indeed. And the last one I have, which I think is actually a quintessential Halloween film. I mean, I watch it every Halloween now for the past dozen years or so. Sadly, this director, he never made another movie. He really only made his mark as a writer, although he later became a teacher. He taught screenwriting courses at UCLA, and he was also a member of both the Writers Guild and the Directors Guild, and he passed away only a few years ago. And I'm talking about, his name is Vernon Zimmerman.
Yeah.
And in 1980, he directed a film called Fade to Black.
Yeah.
Which is
great film.
Oh my God. It is a slasher film, but it's a slasher film that honors both horror and non-horror.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about an introvert. He works for a film distribution company.
Mickey Rourke's in that.
Yeah, and like you see posters for like Tourist Trap and Halloween, because the same guy behind this also was from Compass International and did those films. Also did 2 Linda Blair movies. I read that Hell Night was their very last one for Compass International.
Yeah, I love Hell Night.
And then Roller Boogie.
Yeah, Roller Boogie. That's her. Yeah,
Roller Boogie. So, Fade to Black. It's so good. He Dennis Christopher plays. He works at this film distribution company, and one day he's having lunch, and he falls in love with this Marilyn Monroe lookalike. Like he literally falls in love and lust with her. And I'm telling you, they must have cloned Marilyn in secret, because the girl that plays her, Linda Carriage. The resemblance is uncanny. It's hauntingly uncanny.
Norma Jean.
Yeah, and Mickey Rourke is also in it. And basically Dennis Christopher, he just starts going insane and starts playing his favorite movie characters. Like he dresses up as a vampire, goes see Night of the Living Dead.
As a cowboy.
He just starts killing people. Like, I mean, he dresses up as Hopalong Cassidy to murder
Rourke's character.
Mickey Rourke.
Yeah.
And then like at the end, he does this whole gangster thing. And then when he finally meets up again with Linda Carriage as this Marilyn Monroe lookalike, they do an entire sequence from a movie that I never expected to ever be honored in a slasher movie, and that was The Prince and the Showgirl, directed by Laurence Olivier, and starring Laurence Olivier and Marilyn Monroe. And but this is a awesome film that was given a great release just a few years ago by Vinegar Syndrome.
Scream Factory is going to be releasing that, and they already did for 4K for that. It's probably the same transfer. Yeah.
Oh wow, interesting. Yeah. Well, I'm still going to hold on to this because
absolutely, yeah, it's a great cover.
It's a character study, isn't it? More
that's a character study. It's a huge character study.
You've got the slasher elements in it, which I like as well. So,
the Phantom of the Opera look.
At the time, I don't think it was successful at the time it came out, if I remember rightly.
It made $15 million on a $1.5 million budget, but then the Hopalong Cassidy estate kind of sued because
maybe critically it wasn't acclaimed then, because I remember reading up a little bit about it.
Yeah, dude that plays that teacher or whatever he is, that's kind of tracking down who's doing these killings and stuff like that too. I like his character a lot too, and it all comes down to that because he's trying to look at the difference. It's like we have to try to save this person, where everyone else just wants to kill him. So
yeah,
that's a great choice, though.
It's like one of those early examples of a meta film that doesn't trespass over the boundary where it becomes just reference.
Yeah.
So it's very much a film about film.
Yes.
And about the generational divide of people who grew up before and after television's effect on film.
Mm-hmm.
It's a character study of the audience, is what I'd actually say it is, which is what's fascinating about it. That you can't get more meta than that.
Oh,
it's
no.
talking about us.
Yeah.
So,
and last but not.
I'd recommend not watching it a lot, though. Save it for special occasions, because don't let it lose its magic.
Oh yeah. Last but not least, Tim Thomerson is also in it from the Trancers movies.
He's in Natural Born Killers,
Yes, and his girlfriend is played by Chris Pine's mother, who was actually like 4 or 5 months pregnant when they shot it, and right after the movie came out, Chris Pine was born. So there you go.
Oh, okay.
Lineage. Yeah, lineage.
Is that how that works?
Steak sauce is like.
You need to chime in on this. Is that how that works? If your mom's pregnant and she's in a film, are you in that movie?
Pretty much. I almost count that.
Whatever Steak says is the law.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, I think that would have to be the case because, or at least maybe they're not in the movie, but they are safe from being labeled Nepo baby. I think that's fair. They were in the business from preconception. They put in their time.
Will IMDb allow that listing?
No, absolutely not.
No, they wouldn't count that.
That's not good.
Yeah,
they have hard and fast rules.
Mm-hmm.
That's the opposite of that.
Just I don't believe Stick actually got the list of topics for the show, so I'm not sure.
Nope.
It's not sure if he brought something or we're just torturing him by.
So here's what I can say as far as I'm assuming this is, a director's first movie that's good or something, obviously. Okay, so I can throw this one at everyone. Everyone knows what's coming. Return of the Living Dead. Have you not seen it? You're insane. Go watch it now.
Great film.
Dan O'Bannon, he reinvigorated the zombie genre. I won't go so far as to say like that it was completely like parodied to the point like where like the documentary will have it explained to you, but it's fabulous. It's funny. It's darkly funny. It's nasty. It's mean. It's vicious. The effects are terrific. The dialogue is so snappy. Just everything about it is just everything moves so quick. There's something for everyone, no matter what you like. Movie wise, you got something you can fucking grab a hold of. The soundtrack is incredible.
I was going to say Linnea Quigley dancing naked. That's enough to pull you in. Yeah.
Kluger for the rest of us.
That was Dan O'Bannon's first directing thing.
He has 2 short film things, but
okay,
both under 20 minutes. So
Return of the Living Dead changed everything really for zombie films. It did. It's a parody of itself, right? It's almost a spoof film for the zombie genre that just works really, really, really dang good.
My favorite moment in Return of the Living Dead is when Casey is there with, I don't know the other character's name, the dweeby new wave boy.
John.
Yeah, and they realize that they're going to die, so they're just sitting next to each other sobbing, and she's like, "I never liked you, but hold me."
It's all about the story that he gives.
Julie Chapman's delivery of that line is next level perfect, and then they cut immediately to like zombies and screaming. That's just amazing.
The general at his mansion and the wife and all this stuff too, with the big red button literally like on his desk. Like, come on.
That introduction scene of those is probably my favorite part. Like similar kind of tone. It's like, what's for dinner? Your favorite lamb chops. I had them for lunch. You fucking whore.
It's got everything though, haven't it? It's got the horror, it's got the comedy. The same track is absolutely brilliant,
and it's dead serious. It's not people going get what we're doing.
It doesn't wink at you.
It does not.
Which the sequels all make the mistake of winking at you. Stick on a different platform. I actually threw this out there. I want your impression of this. I think the big mistake for this franchise is if they wanted to make sequels, what they should have done is retitle the existing first film, first off, to Return of the Living Dead 85. And what they should have done is set Return of the Living Dead films in different eras
Oh,
music and
like
culture of
VHS.
that time.
Yeah,
as a backbone. So can you imagine like Return of the Living Dead in 1957 with a bunch of greasers and
Nice.
doo-wop, not doo-wop, but like greaser rock, right? Or how about Return of the Living Dead 91 and we set it in Seattle?
Oh yeah,
right? That would be more in tune with the movie we got, and I think would have been a good guidepost.
It's like Godzilla 1985, which is really
Fabulous.
Godzilla, what, 1984?
I don't mind part 2 though of Return of the Living Dead. It's just the 3, 4, and 5 I hate.
I
don't watch.
I know I'm in a minority here, but I mean the second film when I saw it in the theaters as whatever year old, I thought was fun, but it does not hold up very well. The third film I know you guys love. I don't fucking like that movie.
What is it? My girlfriend is or something.
I don't love it. Like people have just decided to. The effects are terrible. For Brian Usna to direct the film, those effects are awful.
But
Like,
Melinda
he's
Clark,
better than
though.
I was going to say, I think it's nostalgia. Plus, you got like a hot chick, goth.
Oh yeah,
I get it, but there's hot chicks in a lot of movies. Like,
That's
It's better than Candyman Day of the Dead, probably.
okay.
I'm just going to ask you guys real quick.
Candyman Day of the Dead.
It goes along with the debuts because Tom Savini directed the Night of the Living Dead remake. I've never been a fan of that. I
thought it was okay.
Horror fans gush over it. I'm like,
but it's you know what, Stone. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly serviceable. But it's Night of the Living fucking Dead.
Yeah,
not
Either
today.
it's awesome or it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll watch the original 1,000 times over before.
And I hate what they do to Barbara. I just fucking hate.
Oh,
it.
man.
Yeah, they changed the character. They did change the character. Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to
I
mention
like
that one.
Patricia Tallman, but I didn't care for the character changes though. Yeah.
So I was actually. I
I'll
was
listen to her
over
talk about it.
The Scarecrow show, the old compound there. Longtime watchers of the show would know, but and we happened to pop on Night of the Living Dead, and like everyone was kind of talking about how they like the new one better because they like what they did with Barbara. You know, and now they're all like late 20s, early 30s. I think maybe a couple are early. I don't know. I don't remember all their ages, but so perhaps it's just a little of that view. But they also say they just fucking think Barbara in the original is so fucking annoying and just like everything that they hate. Like I watched them all get
causes her brother's death. That's how she's viewing it.
She's
He doesn't want to go out to the grave at all.
Yeah.
She makes him do it, and he
Coming
dies
to get you, Barbara.
in front of her violently. And then she's attacked. She finds sanctuary, and she sinks into a nearly catatonic state because of this. That's why her brother has to be the one that kills her. The movie is a brilliant study in shock.
Movie, dude. What the fuck?
It's just when you. So we were talking before about when's the last Mary Sue. I mean, well,
she kind of is.
Yeah, absolutely. Is. And I don't know. It's not even that. It's just that there's. If you're going to follow beat per beat until it's for every other character except for her,
yeah,
you're making a decision that's very specific, and you need to be judged on that decision. The people who love it because she's an aspirational figure. There's no aspirational figures in the original Night of the Living Dead.
None.
Nope.
Kind of what I love about it.
Everyone's either fucking useless or wrong.
It's not a happy ending.
Dwayne Jones is relatable, cool, and he's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, well, and then Cooper is right, but he's a fucking prick, so fuck him too.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That killed Savini's career as well as a director. Anyway,
he wasn't a good director anyway. He wasn't a good director anyway.
Episodes. Yeah. I mean, you've got to give it that. It's killed his.
I don't know that it killed. I don't know that he was going to have much of a career. That felt like kind of a
I think he went through like hell with the studios when he was making it, and he said the experience just put him off doing anything else really in terms of directing. I know he did like a Tales from the Crypt, didn't he? Or
he did a
TV things.
Yeah. Well, I think Savini. I think that there's some shots in the film that work well. I mean, it's hard to know though because there was other hands in the pot.
Yeah, Romero was involved with it. So
very much. But I would say that it's a thing I don't mind existing. I don't own the movie, and I'm never going to change that.
Mm-hmm.
If it were to be on, if I ran across it, would I watch it again? Maybe. Mm-hmm. I like the cast, but whatever.
Tony
Tom
Todd.
Tolles and Tony. Tom Tolles, Tony Todd.
Yeah.
Those two guys alone are worth giving it a fucking watch every once in a while. Shit. You know what? I'll even say this. Go look up just as many scenes as YouTube will allow with, you know, those two in it. That's fine. That'll get you through at least. I love the fucking movie, and I'm not gonna, you know, sway from that. But like you do make a great point, Lorne. It's Night of the Living Dead, you know, and if they're gonna change one character, why not, you know, tweak some other things too. Make it your own thing in totality, I guess. But as it stands, I still dig it. And also, I agree. Get out of the fucking house. They don't run. They're slow. Get away from them.
Yeah, well, the stakes are so much more personal in the original film, right? They all are running from something. The family are running from the fact that the family is not a cohesive unit. You know,
just a couple just dying in the explosion of the truck, man, is heart-wrenching enough. You're like,
they're
shit.
clearly, it's not stated, but that young couple are clearly running away from like disapproval. They're Romeo and Juliet. That's what they are.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's like they're all already on the run. The zombies are incidental.
And that's an accident on his part too that causes that. You're like, oh shit, what are you doing?
I love a little bit of chaos in movies, and that's a great moment of chaos. And I think when things are too controlled, things get stale fast, and we're in a period of filmmaking that's very, very controlled. So Night of the Living Dead is almost like a perfect time capsule of a time before the corporations were running every aspect of movie making.
Almost like pre-code.
Well, I mean, it's funny because I've talking Hays Code. I have like mixed feelings on that because watch a lot of the pre-code stuff, and maybe the code wasn't such a bad idea.
Yeah.
So it's a mixed blessing. I think sometimes studio interference can work for the better. I have a lot of I think every film exists on its own DNA. The problem with remakes is always they're not living on their own DNA. So why couldn't we have just made a Tom Savini directed, George Romero produced zombie movie? Why did it have to be that thing? Because there was a commercial entity behind it that needed it to happen. Romero wanted to make money off the film he created. I get all that, but it's not really a good artistic reason to make a film.
No.
And it certainly sets up a high bar to be successful in people's minds.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess just kind of, I don't know, throw my bullshit words in. And what you're saying, you know, whatever. I ruined my brain a few moments ago. I'm sorry. But
that's okay.
They're very different films anyway. Like you said, there's not much art in the remake, but it's a very fun time. It's a very, to me, an engrossing watch. I like the look of the movie. And also that cemetery still looks the same as it does in the remake.
Sure does.
I was there 2 weeks ago now. 3 weeks ago. It was so peaceful. It was, I don't know, a very weird day. It was calming in a way that maybe you wouldn't think. But anyway, there is inherently a lot of art in Romero's original. There are actually things that it's talking about, like, you know, not like the civil rights shit, because that is like, even they say that was just an accident. You know, we didn't set it up. We didn't want him shot. He just got shot. We promise. You know, they did go on record and say they had nothing to do with MLK's assassination.
The role was
because I was worried.
Yeah, well, you know, they kind of look like Russo, especially looks like the kind of guy that maybe would. But so it's like they're two totally different experiences. If you want to watch like a really well-made film, you know, like really just solid, natural-ish acting, watch the original. If you want something fucking loud and, I don't know, ballsy's not quite the word, watch the remake. If you want to just eat, the remake's a popcorn movie, and that's fine. That's all a remake can ever really be.
Well, the remake's better than Dawn of the Dead. I will say that.
The Zack Snyder.
I know we've had that conversation on our channel with Lorne, but
if we're not talking about the remake of Dawn of the Dead, I completely agree with that statement.
I probably just pissed off a few viewers, but
that's okay. I do it every show.
Everything's subjective.
I know steak sauce.
yeah.
No, listen, Dawn of the Dead and Rosemary's Baby are great films if you're really tired and want to sleep.
Jesus.
Steak sauce is not happy, man.
I
Happy
think
Halloween,
this
everyone.
past weekend, just this past weekend, I watched Rosemary's Baby for the first time. Very long. I can understand the if you want to sleep thing, but I did like it. Mia Farrow is, I think it's her eyes most specifically. She's very nice to like just watch. It's not even like it's not an attractive in this thing. It's just it's there.
Yeah, she purposely lost weight in that film, which is crazy because considering what the piece of shit doctor's telling her to do, giving her those pills.
And that's exactly why Haunting of Julia exists.
Absolutely. I love Haunting of Julia. Haunting of Julia is a masterpiece. Yeah, it is.
I will agree with that in totality.
Based off the book. Based off the book.
Fabulous fucking movie.
Peter Straub novel, absolutely. Although
Double
Julia's novel,
feature that with Don't Look Now. I always do.
oh well, yeah, no, don't.
It's hard to do a Peter Straub novel. It's very hard to do a Peter Straub novel. He's like one of the hardest, I think, authors people have mentioned to kind of, do kind of films based off of.
Ghost Story works. That's probably the best of his adaptations, book to film.
Yeah.
Because Julia is not. It is and it's not. I love Haunting of Julia. Like it's one of my top 25 films of all time. Low on that list, but it's there. But I do consider it the scariest film of all time. Discussion for another time.
Do you put that above Don't Look Now? Lorne, I
yes.
can't remember now on your
for scariness, yes. Actually, I put it above in every way, but I love Don't Look Now. But I mean, hell, did you see the introduction to the show? There's a blatant Haunting of Julia reference.
Yeah, there is.
It's just Haunting of Julia it's relentless about making you uncomfortable about the central idea. Relentless.
Specifically, the ending to that is pretty like, whoa, wait a minute.
The beginning and end. It's the grief in that movie.
Yeah,
it's over fucking whelming. And this is a time when grief was not really being done in horror. Now, Don't Look Now does it as well. So before we go there, because they are very similar films. But generally speaking, grief wasn't part of the horror tablature at that time. It was a lot more about the boo stuff. Hey, isn't that scary? Hey, isn't that gross? Hey, isn't that intense? But the idea of, okay, we're going to dig into this woman's sorrow. That's a whole different beast. And now it's commonplace. The Relic, which I'm pointing like you can see. There's a poster of Relic on the wall. And I love that movie. It was another examination of grief. Awesome. But it wasn't...
You can put that in there as well. Who Saw Her Die?
Yep.
That definitely qualifies.
Yeah, outside America's borders, there was a little bit more of a wider window for horror to operate in for a long time. I know this is, you guys can beat me up about this, but one of the reasons I have reservations about calling the 80s a great time for horror, even though there are a lot of great films in the genre during the era, is that it wasn't focused on expanding the emotional range of horror. It
wasn't. You're right.
It's kind of doing this goofy thing from about 84 onward, whereas it's just like, isn't horror cool and fun? And yeah, it is. But it wasn't doing much to move the needle forward, which if you look at the 60s, 70s, well, actually, every decade before, it's not fair. I mean, 50s would be probably late 50s, not early 50s. But I just feel like it's a period where we settled into what people thought horror was, and it really kind of got calcified in place. And in America, anyway, it got kind of rinse and repeat. McDonald's, if you got me. And I know we like it. I know we like it, and we all have our favorites. But I think Bad Dreams is an amazing film, right?
Yeah.
But by the same rate, there was a lot of really dumb horror comedies in the late 80s.
I mean, you got the medium of video come out as well in the early 80s, and that's got a lot to do with it.
I'm sure.
You got the slasher boom, obviously, the first few years of the 80s, but the 70s is where it's at. Like a lot of those films as well are like slow burns, and I can see why the youth of today don't really, get on with those films. But
if someone would just cut the movies up into little TikTok clips, they'd fucking watch it. They'd watch them all. Everyone,
Here's Bad Ronald as a 30-second clip. The whole movie.
You just have to trick them into saying that it's just scenes from the movie. But if it's the whole thing just straight through, they're not going to know. And all of a sudden, oops, they've seen a movie.
I don't think they even care if they see a movie, though. That's the problem.
Talking of older stuff, though, Has any of you guys seen this? Because I got this in this week.
Yes.
Boris Karloff's Thriller. I can't wait. It's gonna be like my Halloween thing.
That's kind of a rarity because that's the whole series, isn't it? Because
it is, yeah.
Because some of those episodes were like lost for a long time.
I recently got the Alfred Hitchcock out as well. There's
nice.
like 100 or 90 odd episodes too. So
yeah,
so diving in.
Alfred Hitchcock Presents, or the Alfred Hitchcock Hour, is a little bit more of dicey territory to me. Thriller is actually pretty consistently great because they were adapting the pulp stories at the time.
Yep.
Which is a lot more solid of a place to go. There was a lot of like original screenplay, teleplays, working for Alfred Hitchcock Presents, which it was coming out of the magazine.
Okay.
Which they were churning out a magazine every 30 days. So you can probably do the math and figure out that there's some good and bad episodes of Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh yeah, there's always going to be good and bad in these series.
Thriller's pretty consistent. You're going to find some great stuff. You always have fun. I don't think you'll find bad. That's also the difference between like past the second season of Twilight Zone. Like no one wants to say this aloud. I don't know why. The first 2 seasons are awesome, and then you should stop. You should stop watching. Later, Twilight Zone is not nearly as good. And the revivals, I mean, besides the 80s revival, which was kind of good, it's all been pretty poor. But Night Gallery was consistently pretty good because
that was Sterling's other series he did. He did that right after Twilight Zone, didn't he?
It's a little bit later. CBS goes to wanting money. Basically, they were like, "Can you just go back to the graveyard every week and stop with the fantasy stuff?" Yeah. But his thing was he grew up reading the pulp magazines in the 30s, 40s. Yeah. So that's what he went back to, and he was like, "Okay, we're going to."
And Richard Matheson, what a pairing those two were.
Yeah, but Matheson was friends with all those guys from the 30s and 40s.
Yeah,
so he was like, Henry Kuttner. Yeah, well, I know that, so I'll call him and ask any questions I need. So it was kind of like Night Gallery is the last of that anthology television stuff that harkens back to that 20s through 40s era of pulp magazines, short fiction, and horror really well. I know Guillermo del Toro flirted with it with the Cabinet of Curiosities, but it didn't really come off as well to me.
Lorne, I know you've got like a certain time frame you don't want to go over with these episodes. Is it okay to quickly mention 2 recent watches?
Let's do it.
Right. So I watched Strange Harvest this year.
Great film.
Man, like blown away. So this is shot in the same way as like a serial killer documentary. And I will say, like, the first 20 minutes, even though I knew that this, was not real, I can see how it kind of tricked people into thinking it was real. Some of the coverage, is a little bit too good to be true towards the end.
It is pretty funny.
Yeah,
did you read the stuff at the bottom during the news reports? Because I did. They scroll that stuff on the bottom. What's going on in the world? I'm like going, okay, let's see here, because it's all fake and stuff like that. Seeing what's going on.
Yeah. So, did you see it, Steak Sauce and Gasman? You haven't seen it?
No.
Yeah, go in completely blind, I would say.
It's a one of a kind. It's a one of a kind found footage, in my opinion. You can maybe pair 2 with this. You could pair this with the Poughkeepsie tapes if you wanted to. And then there's an ending scene that harkens to a found footage film called Horror in the High Desert. It it looks similar to that. So also I would recommend a film to pair with that found footage. And that was a short in VHS 1985, Flippin' Dream Kill. I love that segment so much. It's very good. They could have done a complete found footage film for that in general. The whole premise of that I really liked a lot.
So did you guys see Night of the Reaper? This just recently come out. Yeah. Oh man, kind of a wasted opportunity. The first 20 minutes, you got this babysitter in peril. The atmosphere is suspense, it's all there, and it kind of goes a little bit downhill as it gets, as the movie goes on. But it's got this retro slasher. I think it's supposed to be in the 80s. They do all that stuff great. I would, slasher fans or what have you, I would definitely, slightly recommend it. I think you'll get kind of a lot out of it, but don't expect in a corny kind of over the top kills and all that, because it's not that. It's more based on suspense. Yeah, that's the 2 I want to mention.
So I will point out that it's not horror, but War II, the new YRF spy universe film that came out a month and a half ago, is now on Netflix. You want a good action flick that doesn't take itself terribly serious, but has all the stuff we used to get times 10, including a massive multi-person fight scene on top of a carrier jet, not inside of it, on top of it. You've never seen it. Action on that scale is what India is doing right now, and it's just amazing. Hrithik Roshan is the lead, and he's basically a Greek god. I mean, he's just like an unreal specimen. I definitely think if it's like the heyday, like the heyday of like that Schwarzenegger, Van Damme like bodybuilder as action star, it harkens back to that. But it's great. You don't need to know the series to watch it at all. I mean, whatever. You're there for the fights and the stunts. But I would recommend that greatly. And my favorite film of the year so far was an Indian horror film called Vash Level 2. Which so it's a sequel to Vash, obviously, which I thought was fine. It was a good film. The remake of it, which Shaitan, was my favorite film of the year it came out. But this is the sequel to the original film, and it is awesome. The series is about a black magician who can take control of teenage girls. In the first film, he takes control of a single member of a family and makes her do horrific things to attack her family, and it gets more and more intense. Shaitan is the better version of that, but in Vash Level 2, the protege of that original black magician decides to take an entire high school under his control and just attack the city.
Okay.
And it is a wild ass film, and I loved it. I grinned all the way through it. I think you'll have fun with it too. So Vash Level 2, it's not out on any streaming services at this point, and it's out of theaters, so you're gonna have to wait a couple weeks, maybe a month. But when it does pop up, grab it if you see it, because you're gonna enjoy the hell out of it.
Perfect.
Anyone else want to throw some suggestions out there?
I'll do one real quick, and it's not a suggestion either. I know people hyped up this film. I saw it. It has slasher elements to it. Marshmallow, I did not like that film whatsoever. It just did not. I'm not a big fan of Stranger Things. It has huge vibes for that. And I'm just like, no, I'm just like not having it. It had some little bright spots and stuff like that. In the end, just the ending and everything like that, I'm like going, oh, just disappointed for what I expected for a film that people consider a slasher. I just don't. So with that, but like I say, suggestions, like I say, yeah, Strange Harvest, I do like a lot. That might be I know it was released in 2024, but it just came out this year. This might be my horror of the year. So I still need to look at some of the, I'm not much into the newer stuff, so I have a lot of catching up to do for that. So
one more horror recommendation. I know we mentioned Silkwood earlier with Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep never really made a horror film, but the closest she did was I love Death Becomes Her.
Yeah,
by Robert Zemeckis. Yeah, won the Academy Award for visual effects. You know, with the body contortion,
big hole in her.
They shot a whole hole through Goldie Hawn's stomach. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Robert Zemeckis movies.
She did it's more noir, I think, than horror, but
yeah,
kind of a similar thing. She did with I can't remember the name, I can't remember the name of it, but it's with Roy Scheider. It's a pretty good time. It's one of her first movies.
Is that 51 Pickup? Possibly.
Yeah. Oh, that is later. That's
Anne Margaret.
That's Anne Margaret with that one.
Yeah. Roy Scheider's the man too, by the way.
He is the man.
Was
all that jazz,
even posthumously still the man. All that, god damn it, that has become one of my favorite movies too. The ending of All That Jazz is almost untouchable, and that is horror. There is so much, like Mike Flanagan talks about that as one of his favorite movies. You can see that goddamn movie in everything he's done.
The director of Jason Goes to Hell, that's All That Jazz is his favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, I should have watched it.
Anyone seen the Roy Scheider slasher night game, like the baseball killer?
Yeah,
I have that. I still need to watch that.
Oh, golly, I've never seen it. Yeah, so it's not too good then, is it? Long?
If I could recommend a a Halloween recommendation, I guess, right? A Halloween movie here. I think it's an Italian movie. I'm not sure. It might be some other
let's
thing. But it's
go.
called Anguish.
Oh, yes, Spanish,
From
that is. Yeah.
1987 with
Yep.
Zelda Rubinstein, Michael Lerner, who is one of my favorite character actors. He seemed like he was in everything when I was a kid, you know, and just
Biggest
always
Luna
some
is
greasy fucking
director.
slime ball.
Yeah.
But it's just like, so Rubinstein plays like this overbearing mother and mother of Michael Lerner, and he's just like fucking dorky, like eye obsessed, or what's the eye doctor's assistant? Because I'm not gonna fucking get the word right. So let's just move past that. And then there's like this whole meta angle within that I'm not gonna really speak on, just because I think that's a big reveal. I don't know. I really kind of went, oh shit, what?
Yeah,
very
it's got like a demons type of vibe, hasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Definitely a demons vibe there. Fuck. Sorry, why am I cussing so much? I'm freaking out. It was just on Prime, but it is gone now. So I'm sorry about that. If you look on the internet hard enough, you'll find it.
Yes.
If you breathe near the internet, you'll find it.
Yeah.
The houses that October built, I would mention for found footage Halloween film. I like that one a lot. These people going through these extreme haunted houses and stuff, and they have a doc on the Blu-ray. We're following actual people that go to these extreme haunted houses and stuff and walk through them. That's great. So that's definitely for the time of season.
All right. So I want to thank you guys for joining us, and I want to wish everyone out there a happy Halloween. Thank you for joining us for season 5 of The Region Free.
Yeah.
Have a great one.